Mission First Tactical is a proud sponsor of the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade.
All right, Leadheads. Welcome back to another episode of the Talking Lead podcast. This will be our second edition of the NRA coverage, and I wanted to do a little pre-show before I kicked off our line of interviews for this episode. And joining me, ladies and gentlemen, we have on my screen from my right to my bottom, we'll say, we've got industry writer, longtime Leadhead, good friend, Andre Dallau, joining us. Andre, welcome.
Thank you. Great to be here. And with my illustrious compadres.
There you go. That's right. Also joining us from the great state of Florida, from the Cocoa area, ladies and gentlemen, our good buddy, Hammer with Kel-Tec. He's locked and loaded, ready to go. Oh. And down below me is sponsor of the show, also Kel-Tec sponsor of the show, Seal One sponsor of the show also. And I don't know where you're at today, Dwight. Are you in San Diego? Are you in Hawaii? Where are you?
I'm in San Diego. I'm at home in Coronado.
There you go. In Coronado. Dwight Settle with Seal One, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in.
Thanks.
And then my partner in crime, ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful, the lovely, the tattooed, ton of fun, Ton Jones.
Oh,
Firebird Targets.
I got to do.
There you go.
That's just for you, Hammer.
Everybody bring out your deadly weapons. This is the Talking Lead podcast. So welcome in, everybody, and we've got all of the country covered here. Andre, where is it? What area are you from?
Pinecrest, which is south of Miami. So I'm a little bit south of Hammer, and we're enjoying the same weather today, kind of.
Florida, Texas, Cali, and Tennessee we got represented today. I love it. All over the country. And we got listeners in all those states and all those areas. So Leadheads, we're coming off a Memorial weekend. Yesterday was Memorial Day, so I hope that everyone celebrated and honored accordingly. Did any of you guys do anything special? I know, Dwight, you said you honored one of your friends this past weekend, and he will be missed. What did everybody else do for the weekend?
Family stuff.
You didn't go shoot no gators or anything, Hammer?
Well, that's coming up.
Yeah, I know we were talking about that. When are you going to do that?
I think I'm hunting week 3 and week 4, so like very end of August, and then up through November 1st is when it ends. But
that'll be exciting.
Looking forward to Humorex getting me an arrow gun. So,
you gonna do an air gun? Very nice.
Yeah.
Ton can talk to you about air guns. You know, he's kind of an expert on that stuff.
Yeah, what the damn hell?
You guys got an arrow gun?
I'm the one that originally designed it in 2012. What are you, new?
Yeah. It'll be my first one.
He's kind of new to it. We might have to correct some things, but we'll do that off air.
We need to fix this.
Fresh start.
There you go. So, Ton, with the family, the little runts and everything, what'd you guys do?
Well, we put in a new chicken coop, then we fought off the storm. Then I went to the factory and made some targets and put in a little range time.
There you go. What did you shoot? Where were you ranging?
I was actually getting ready for Metal Madness. I got a competition in the week, so I'm learning to shoot my 22 left-handed.
The overbuilt? Which overbuilt 22 are you shooting?
Another new one that's overbuilt.
A brand new one?
Yeah.
One we've not seen yet.
No, but soon.
Okay. All right. Is that the
Yes.
one you got thrown in Instagram jail for engraving?
No, that was my air gun. That was the air gun chassis. It wasn't even the gun. It was just the chassis.
But you got kicked off of Instagram because they said it was drug paraphernalia.
Yeah, they said it was adult drug paraphernalia and marijuana.
Oh, good Lord.
I was
My
laser
5.7
engraving.
video got pulled from Facebook.
Yeah,
What?
I was laser engraving the chassis, and they said it was a drug paraphernalia and marijuana.
What the heck? I mean, they'll just do anything these days, won't they? Like whatever button's close.
Just wait till I really decide to violate their policy. Give it a
So
couple of days.
This morning I was kicked off of Instagram for just making a comment about an article about some lady getting her phone snatched in the streets of London. I made some remark about, you just once you go ahead and breed self-defense out of your society, all you are is a bunch of Eloy and Matt, and they seem to dislike that. So I was kicked off for God knows how long. It just suddenly doesn't work. So yeah, Instagram is very, very, very picky and doesn't like any mention of self-defense.
No.
No, they don't like the words anti-fouling either.
Yeah.
I get kicked off for that. And it's like, no, it's FOUL, not FOWL.
Yeah.
And it's like
Anti-fouling.
yes.
Is that some liberal's last name, Foul?
It's like, they're a pesticide. They're killing birds. And it was like, no, you can eat this shit and it's getting rid of carbon, but you do kill birds but
Oh, you mean like those big wind turbines that kill birds all the time that they never talk about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me.
So Hammer was showing us something off air there. I think the lead heads would like to see. You've got an optic on that thing, Hammer. Tell us about the optic you've got on there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the guys at Olight dropped this off to test out and mess around with, but it's their new pretty much reflex style. Going pistol, carbine, running on a 45 if you're running a scope or anything like that. But one of the cool features is, one, it's a green dot, but also, see there's no actual battery compartment on it. It has this charging pack that you can see slips right over the top and has a battery meter readout. So you charge your red dot with that. So
how's that hood get charged?
I haven't really ran it yet, so I don't know how long it'll hold the charge for, but ever since I charged it, it's still at a hundo. So
okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I love green dots.
What's the MOA, did you say?
Please hold.
About like a 3 or something?
I think it's a 6.
About 6 MOA, okay. Got a big old honker on there. And that's Olight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. Were they there at NRA?
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
Olight was?
I was so bummed because I've had one of these Olight i3Ts for probably 6 years. Had it for probably 2 years. Lost it in my yard for like a year and a half mowing the yard. Found it, still worked. Then had it for like another 2 or 3 years. Then lost it in an Uber in Dallas. So it's like shit.
Finally had to get another one. Huh? Those Ubers, man. And you lose something in an Uber, you're not going to get it back. They're not going to call you and say, "Hey,
no,
We
found your lost item in our Uber car."
Our driver lost their decency long before I lost my flashlight. Matt was not ready for that car ride, Marty.
Oh, poor Matt. He just takes it on the chin, doesn't he? He just takes it on the chin and rolls. He's the most laid back, easygoing.
Downtown, but Matt got an introduction to that on the trip.
Poor Matt.
So let's talk about our Dallas trip. So I drove in from Tennessee. It was about a 10-hour drive, and I left about, I don't know, it was like 1 a.m., midnight, something like that. Had no problem with traffic whatsoever. It was a nice, easy, smooth drive. all the way until I got into Texas, into the Dallas area, and there were trailers on fire. There were homeless people. There was road construction. But once I got through that, I mean, it was fine. Got downtown, battled through the homeless camps to get to the hotel. But it was a easygoing trip. What about you guys? Did everybody fly? I would take it. Most of you guys flew.
Eventually.
Yeah, I flew in on Wednesday, and it was a nightmare. I was at the airport for like 12 hours before I could get out.
Yeah, Texas has been getting some bad storms.
Yeah, Matt and I got on the plane, got on the runway thinking we were going to take off. And it was funny because I was just telling him about a trip when I was coming up to Nashville. One of the times we met up with you at Rock Castle.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, there's storms earlier that day. I was like, we're going to get hung up. I told Matt, get ready. It's going to happen again. Sure enough, we sat on the runway in the plane for probably just shy of 3 hours. And it had to have been pushing 90 plus degrees in the plane. And
that was pleasant.
The plane next to me had a lot of meat and taters.
Hopefully, I had deodorant too.
Yeah, thank God he didn't stink. But
I heard several people that got caught in that holding pattern too, and they said that it was the worst flights, as far as turbulence and everything goes, that they've ever been on in their lives. They thought they were going down. They thought
I heard Thursday was bad flying in. But
Wednesday and Thursday were terrible travel days. It was awful both days.
Friday was great.
Yeah, well, we're all there.
Private flight.
Yeah, and then Thursday was the range day, and that was rained out. That was very, very, very wet.
Yeah, the primary arms range day thingy.
Oh yeah. They actually called it about 10 o'clock in the morning. They said, "Oh, we're done," but people didn't go away, so they just kept on going.
So they actually had it.
I didn't even know there was a range day until like Saturday.
Yeah, they didn't put that out too well. I don't think
it's like a private. I think they do that intentionally. They don't invite a whole lot of people to it. But Evan went. I didn't make it there in time.
It was a freaking $60 Uber ride out there, so I'll tell you that much.
Well, I mean, at least they still did it.
Yeah, that Uber driver was convinced that I was going to go ahead and murder her out there. She was like really happy to drop me off. She's like, "Yeah, get out of my car."
Yeah, it's not close to where the convention's at.
No, it is in the middle of nowhere. Well, you actually can see nowhere from there, so it's not in the middle of nowhere. So it's
Well, I mean, it is a range. You got to understand. To have something like that, it's got to be out of the way typically.
Yeah. It's a nice range, but everything's getting built up out to it now. Just hell.
Did you go, Dwight? Were you there?
No. And as the way the weather was there in Dallas, and I was there for their range government event last August.
Yeah.
And it had rained the day before, just poured down. So I was like, I don't want to go play in that again.
Then that range very well.
Yes. Yeah.
If it rains 3 days beforehand, that range is a mud pit.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah. It's brutal. That's only like 30 minutes from my house.
Well, I was going to go. I had every intention, but then when I got there, that's when that storm hit. So I just naturally assumed they would call it. And I just went to the hotel instead. Had to set up the studio too. So, but Evan was there and we got some great Polaroids of it. You guys can watch our social medias and check it out there. Hey, lead heads, Lefty here. Just want to talk to you a little bit about our good friends over at Leo Takedown. Leo Takedown is an advanced takedown platform designed to fit any mil-spec AR-15 or M4 rifle. Discreet carry shouldn't compromise tactical advantage. The Leo Takedown allows the operator to move from discreet carry to ready in seconds. The Leo Takedown allows users to quickly change barrel lengths or calibers in order to adapt to evolving mission demands. It's your rifle. You shouldn't be backed into a corner with proprietary parts in order to have takedown capability. The Leo Takedown requires no proprietary parts and allows the operator to build their own rifle how they want it. The Leo Takedown provides a solid, straight in, straight out, positive lock every time. No hinges, twisting, or handles required. Check out Leo's brand new integrated takedown upper receiver. With our tested and proven takedown coupling now machined into the upper receiver, installation is a breeze. Made in the USA, there is nothing else on the market that compares to this patented technology. See the difference for yourself at leotakedown.com. That's leotakedown.com. Leadheads, use the code TL10 for 10% off your next order. Leo Takedown is a proud supporter of the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade. But the actual show itself, is in Dallas, Texas. They had it there, was it 2018? Last time they had it there?
I think so. Something like that.
2018. So it wasn't that long ago
No.
that they had it in Dallas. I'm not a big fan of having it in Dallas personally. Don't got anything against Dallas other than the homeless camps that they've got there that surprised me because I didn't think Dallas, I thought they had a better handle on their homeless than that. But no, they don't.
Nope, that's Dallas.
And they're just wandering around there on the streets among all the common folk too. And there's obviously mental issues going on with these people. They have severe mental issues. They're shitting on trees in public.
Drug abuse.
Well, there's drug abuse, and then there's the mental people too. And they're sitting there talking to each other, yelling at nobody in the middle of the street.
The mental people on drugs, that really doesn't help.
Yeah.
No, you mix the two, and it's a bad combination.
Yeah,
but that surprised me. That was my biggest disappointment. But overall, it was easy to get around. Didn't have any issues getting around. We talked about this, getting Ubers, getting reservations at restaurants, and just making your way around through town. And then the show itself seemed lighter than normal. We'll say. But I've talked with several people about it, and I talked about this also. But it seemed to be a better caliber of crowd that was there. People that really wanted to be there, and really believed in the Second Amendment and got behind the companies that were there instead of just wanting all the free swag and giveaways.
That's one of the main things I noticed about this show. Even though it was a lot lighter in attendance. In the past years going, I've been to, I think this is 29 for me. The doors usually open and you get the leeches of the industry running from booth to grab whatever free they can with bags, just grabbing pins, stickers, hats, shoving them in their bags and just making their rounds to
anything that's free. They want to load up on it.
It's absolutely disgusting to see these people. They don't care about the companies. They don't care about anything. They just want free. And then they leave because they got everything that's free. They don't care about anything but free. This year, it was really nice because you actually got a higher caliber, better quality customer. It wasn't the tire kickers. You actually got to see real commerce happening, real business happening. And even though the attendance was really light, commerce and business was taking place. And from the vendors that I talked to, they said it seemed a lot more productive and a lot more profitable than the past years.
Yeah. And Dwight was set up there with Seal One. And I talked to a couple of other companies too that said that, they had brought some inventory and they sold out of their inventory.
Yeah. Friday was a great day. As Ton was saying, people came in and that was our biggest sell day, Friday. The only thing that kind of got me was, we'd picked our booth and we were right next to SAR because SAR's SAR USA has started using our product, and then we were right next to an entranceway. So we were like, all right, this should be pretty good. But on Friday, I mean, there was people lined up out there, and they wouldn't let them enter. You know, they were like, no, yeah, you got to go back down around. And we were just like going, well, you know, why? So Saturday, they did the same thing in the morning, but then they did let them in afterwards. And Sunday, they let them in through that door. But yeah, it was kind of, I don't know why the convention center, that, you know, who it seemed to be, because that's, you know, the people manning the door. But yeah, it came from somewhere. But I had the traffic. I agree with you, Ton, that people that did come through were a lot more interested in learning instead of just taking.
Yeah, it was nice.
What about the Kel-Tec booth there, Hammer?
I mean, I really went pretty well. I don't particularly love that venue. We were up on the island, up the little stair set in the back corner. So on Friday, it's like when the show opened, we were so far in the back corner, which, I mean, it's no big deal, but like, I don't think we really got our first customers almost till like dang near an hour into the show. Almost, it felt like.
Yeah, I guess, you know, where you guys were set up, where we were set up, we were at Pioneer Arms Corp. We had the studio set up with Pioneer Arms. You know, it was, as Dwight was saying, they were letting people in. It seemed like the front, they had to come in through the front and then filter their way to the back.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time they got back there, you know, it's several hours, or maybe it was the next day before they, you know, they decided that they wanted to get back there.
Mm-hmm.
Because 14 acres is, you know, is what they're advertising of space and booths and vendors. I mean, I don't think there was actually that many vendors there, but the space itself was probably 14 acres. I mean, it felt like it walking from one end to the other. Because when
there's a lot of smaller booths there than normal, though. Like a lot of like the almost like gun show style venues, like when you got along the back wall, more than normal that I noticed.
It seemed that way. Didn't seem like there was as many larger booths as normal. You know, the big gaudy Glock booths and all that. I mean, Glock was there, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Were they there? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Have much stuff to show, but they were there.
Yeah, I mean, they had a giant spread out booth of just nothing, of space. It was like they were just trying to spread things out to fill the space, but. Again, the crowds, I think they were very manageable. There weren't too many people there, but I think there was enough to give all the vendors, you know, some action.
It's funny enough, is normally, so we had I think the most people we've ever brought to a show, and we cut pretty much everyone loose to fly back home halfway through the show on Sunday, and just Matt and I were manning the booth because we're like, Sundays are always dead anyway. Then it's like, it came out to the time when everyone's leaving, like, this is the busiest Sunday I've ever seen at a show. But
yeah, that's what I found out. I got most of my work done that Sunday. I was like very productive. So I'm like you. Usually, like last day of SHOT Show, I'm gone because nothing ever happens. But this show was extremely productive, and it was nice because everybody was laid back. I had a chance to stand around and talk with some people at length. Usually, it's a quick chat and you got to dash away, but in this situation, that there was plenty of time to go ahead and actually talk to people about their products and really get into some detail. And there's a couple of vendors that I talked to that had some really neat stuff, and they're able to get into some detail about what they've got. It was like really interesting. So not only were they good contacts, but they were very interesting. And, you know, almost like, you know, you don't get that kind of opportunity frequently. So thanks to the low volume crowds, I was able to really get some effective work done, some really good information passed along. So I enjoyed it tremendously.
And Andre, this episode is going to have our interview where we kind of kicked it off with you, and like we do with a lot of the shows, you'll come by first off, do an interview with you, kind of get your expectations of the show, and, you know, maybe some things you've heard about and what you're going to go check out. And then last day of the show, we'll have you back on, and then we recap everything. We didn't get to do the recap, so let's do the recap now, and then they can hear the pre thing after this. So, what's some interesting things that you saw or your takeaways from the show?
Well, one of the biggest things is the Mantis, which they've got a brand new dry fire, live fire system where it gives feedback to your technology to where you can see exactly how your trigger press is going, how your aiming is doing. I mean, dry fire is great and it's really important, but if you don't have any kind of really positive feedback or somebody to tell you what you're doing wrong, you could actually be doing the wrong thing and reinforcing bad behavior. This gives you the ability to actually see what you're doing, and to the point where you can actually get immediate feedback like, okay, that last string I really had a lot of wobble and I really didn't pay much attention to the front sight. This really does. So that was really good. I'm going to write up some articles about that.
I think the great thing about that product is it tells somebody that, yeah, I definitely need to go get a training class.
Oh yeah. And that's the whole thing, as everybody here knows, is that, training is life, and that's what I'm trying to push in all my writings is the fact that if you've got a gun, you need to go ahead and get training, not once a year, but twice, 3-4 times a year. Make it a regular thing, and if it's the same class over and over, that's fine too, because you're always learning something new. And there's
rather than going out and buying another chest rig or the latest and greatest optic or whatever, get proficient with what you have.
Yeah.
And spend the money that you would spend on that on training.
Yeah. And there's really good trainers out there. You guys know some good trainers. The guys in Florida know that there's some really, really good guys in Florida, and all over the country. So
all over the country, yeah. There's awesome training.
Yeah, and so anything to do with training is big on my list. Is like, okay, if you're a shooter, you need to be training. That's just constant. But as far as other gear is concerned, there was a lot of neat stuff out there. Of course, I went by Shadow Systems and had to look at their guns there because that's such a nice pistol. So I like it.
And Shadow Systems, remind me, are they the people who just do custom Glock stuff or what?
Yeah, they make Glock, but better. I mean, Glock is kind of faded a little bit, and other people have picked up what really is a great market. And their CR 920, little 9mm pistol is just like, okay, that's just the cat's nuts right there. It's just really good.
Cat's nuts. Okay.
They have like one of the best programs ever. I don't know if you're familiar with, like, say you ever have to use your gun in a self-defense platform and law enforcement takes your gun away from you. Shadow Systems will send you a brand new one free of charge if that happens.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that. That's good.
Interesting.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's really good to know.
Do you know personal experience? Is that?
Yeah. I was talking to the owner at USCCA before. He was telling me all about it. I was like, dang, that's pretty awesome.
Okay. I mean, I know they're not cheap guns from what I remember. They're pretty pricey, right? The Shadow System guns?
Yeah, about
outrageous.
Yeah. But for what you get, it's worth it. I mean, years ago, I thought buying a Bill Wilson or Kimber was outrageous, but then you realize what you get what you pay.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, to a certain extent, it's true.
Yeah.
A lot of those you're paying for the damn name.
Oh yeah. We won't mention or anything like that, but yeah, there's some really, you're right.
Yeah. But
damn, now you're gonna make me look at that gun again.
With the Shadow Systems?
Yeah, so I was looking at their MR9.
Yeah.
I've been looking at that a lot.
So I did a thing before I left to go to NRA. This arrived on my doorstep the day before I headed out. So does this look familiar to anyone?
Where's your dot?
My dot?
Yeah.
Well,
I just got it. I haven't had an opportunity to do it, but it does have a plate, so you can put an RMR on there.
At every pistol will have one from now on. Yes.
So it came with that. It came with the cuts.
Is that the bear?
It's got the serrations front and back. It has the stippled grip. I don't know if you can see it. My camera's not really focusing right now. And then these aren't tritium sights, but they're like charged sights. If you charge it with a light, they'll glow in the dark. But again, you can change these out. It's based off the Glock 17. This is more of a 1911 type angle grip versus the Glock grip. But yes, this is the Bear Creek Arsenal.
Yep.
Grizzly is what they call it. And guess how much? Guess how much? With all that,
$1.
$4.90.
$4.99. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
$4.90. It was $2.95.
You're kidding.
$2.95.
I couldn't answer that because I already knew. Me and him were looking this up.
Yeah. $2.95. I haven't shot it yet. I'm taking it out this weekend. I'm going to shoot it just to test it out. But I mean, I've taken it apart. All the parts and everything seem, typical standard Glock.
Does it have Glock magazines or is it proprietary?
No, it's Glock. Glock, and it comes with two magazines too.
Nice.
I think they got their logo on there. But yeah, 2 mags, and you get all that. I mean, any other gun like the company you're talking about, you get a gun like that, would it probably cost $1,000?
Yeah. You could buy 3 of those for what you would get a Shadow Systems for.
Yeah. And then still, if you wanted to upgrade sights and whatnot, you could still do that and still be way under. But again, I haven't shot it, I haven't tested it, so I don't know how reliable it is. So it may be a $295.
Side charging ARs and it ran great.
Well, that's what got Ton and I interested is the side charging. We're like, they got a side charging AR, and you can get one. You can get a whole rifle there for like under $400. A whole AR-15 rifle.
We spent almost an hour after one of the podcasts just going through their whole website.
Yeah. So I went on there to buy one of those, but then I saw that they made these handguns. They just came out with these handguns. And I was like, I'm going to get one of those. So we'll see. We'll see. They weren't at NRA, but another Dwight, you were talking about SAR. And I wasn't familiar with SAR Firearms. They're a Turkish company. I've heard of them, but I've never really messed with their guns. And I went over there and checked their guns out too. And they've got really nice handguns too. Mm-hmm. And very reasonable price. I think theirs are under $500 for theirs. And they come with all the things too, with hard case and magazines. And, but they've got a full line of handguns. I was really impressed.
Guns too. And the prices on the shotguns are absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Well, that's something too. The Turkish companies. I was talking about this morning with Paul Marco. I was on Student of the Gun, and all these Turkish shotguns. That's kind of how they got into, I guess, the American market. But now you're starting to see a lot of the handguns starting to come in too from these Turkish companies, and they're really good. In Canik, Turkish.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yes. I think they're Turkish too. But I'm willing to give them a try.
Yeah, Canik's come a long way.
Canik has come a real long way, and their prices are starting to show it too.
Yeah, well,
they're getting more pricey.
Yeah,
definitely. Any other takeaways from the show? I mean, for me overall, it was a good positive experience. There was a lot of listeners that were there that came by, so thanks for everybody who stopped by the booth. Had even this one fellow who worked at NASA came by and he shared his astronaut blueberry brownie thingy with me.
Yeah,
it was really good. I've still got the package for that too. I kept it in my little thing here. Where's it at? There it is. Authentic astronaut packaging. It was dried apricots. I think it was expired, but that's why.
Oh God,
that's why he gave it. But it was really good. So thank you for that. All right, Ton. You wanna do the coin?
Oh yeah.
Want to do the coin now? All right, so we're gonna do the coin, but we're gonna do it at the end of the show. So you gotta wait till the end of the show, and then we're gonna announce. So Ton and I gave away these challenge coins, Ton of Firebird Targets. We had 300 of these. What do you call them? Plexiglass or
acrylic? They're
acrylic,
plexiglass, acrylic.
Challenge coins.
Challenge
really
coin.
nice. really nice. Ton did a good job engraving. He got the Talking Lead logo, the Firebird logo, got some bullet holes, and then there were 3 that had special markings, and we're going to announce one of those special markings on this episode, and it's going to be a nice prize package. You want to tell them what the prize package is going to be, Ton?
Yeah, we'll give away a pack. Well, from Firebird, we're going to give away a pack of the new moderated 50 Firebird Targets, the retro 50
I'll have mine.
Firebird Targets, and a pack of 65 bio Firebird Targets.
Very nice. So 3 packs, and there's 10 in each pack, right?
Correct.
10 targets in each pack. Those are going to be really fun. And then Dwight with Seal 1 is going to include
one of our tactical gun care kits.
Tactical gun care kit. Which I need to get another one because I've taken all the stuff out of it. Is this the tactical gun care kit or is it the bag?
No, it's the bag. So
okay,
it comes with the 4-ounce paste, 4-ounce liquid, the microfiber cloth, the nylon tactical brush,
right,
and a pack of our 6x6 seal skins.
This has most of that in it. It just fell out when I opened it, but
yeah.
I need to get another one of those. I gave my actual bag away to the UPS guy the other day. He's the guy who he delivered some of my Mission First Tactical stuff, and he's asking me what I did. He said, because you always get these packages from these, these cool firearms companies. I was like, are you into firearms and guns? He goes, yeah. We got to talking, and I gave him a pack of your of the Seal 1.
All right.
Sharing
we'll send you another one. Yeah.
Okay. I need another so I can hold it up and show the listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found a pack of targets I haven't blown up yet.
There you go.
Yeah, they don't last long here for some reason.
I went to a birthday party this past weekend, Ton, and guess what the person got for their birthday?
Some of them targets.
They got a pack of those targets. Yep, because they live out in the boonies and they love to shoot. So I was like, this would be perfect for them.
I can't remember if I was telling you, Ton. One of my friends was telling me because she has a son who just turned 9, and all he wanted for his 9th birthday was a firearms birthday party. So she asked, nice. She's like, she's like, would you bring a bunch of stuff? I was like, so I grabbed a bunch of the guns from the office and a ton of 22 and everything else in 9mm. And I was going through I was like, oh, we got Firebird targets. So I brought some 9mm or some of the Firebird targets to the bird, and the kids loved them.
Dude, they're so much fun.
Perfect.
So it was probably one of the coolest 9-year-old birthdays ever.
Yeah. And then also in this package, hammer, Kel-Tec is going to throw in.
That way. We got shirts, we got hats. Let you go on the website, pick out which one you want, what size. We'll get you taken care of.
There you go. So be listening. The end of this episode, we're going to announce what you're going to be looking for. So break out your coins. If you got one of these, you're lucky enough to get one of these. We gave out 300, and only 3 of those are going to have that special marking for today. So stay tuned. Ton and I will be back. Any parting words before we break into the interviews here? We got interviews with, let me tell you guys what we got. We got interviews with Juan with SAR. So we were talking about SAR Firearms. We've got Josh with O.S.T. I'm sorry. Another company that Dwight hooked up with. Maybe there might be something going on there. And then, of course, Andre. We're talking about Andre. We'll kick it off with Andre. And then our good buddy Kenny Barlow is with a new company that has this alarm system, I guess we'll call it. But listen, he'll tell you more about that. It's pretty cool. So, guys, any parting words?
Well, you mentioned O.S.T. I went by and talked to them. They have some really neat stuff.
They do. They
do. I was surprised. And I got one of the little tools because I was like, want to address my how to clean my ARs better, and it really works well. Yesterday, what I did was I took out one of my ARs, was running around, and like, oh, this really works well.
Yeah, and you'll know what he's talking about when you hear the interview with Josh. They've got a nice little
That'd be
cool.
I have to listen to that because they got some neat stuff there.
Yeah. And I think you're probably going to start seeing Seal 1 when you start ordering those. So very good, guys. I appreciate your time. Appreciate you being on. I know the lead heads do. They appreciate the support that Firebird Targets, Seal 1, and Kel-Tec gives the lead head brigade here. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to take care of our listeners the way that we do. I think we spoil them, really. Just a bit. I think they're spoiled just a little bit. And hopefully we've got some new listeners with these challenge coins. So you're probably pissed that we're not announcing the winner right now, but hey, that's the whole thing. You got to listen to the show. So Ton and I will be back. And if you guys want to join us for the announcement, you're more than welcome to join us for the announcement. But we'll be right back after these interviews, Leadhead. So stay tuned.
Whiskey River Beef, farm to table with a twist. Come along with us on a quest towards achieving self-sufficiency in food production and fostering a robust local food source to promote good health. Stock up with premium Tennessee beef, unparalleled in flavor and tenderness. You can be confident that you're receiving beef with no added growth hormones or implants. Always pasture-raised, locally USDA processed, and shipped straight to your home. Whiskey River Beef is grass and whiskey mash fed and finished, and is at least 14 days dry aged to enhance the tenderness and give you the most robust flavor imaginable. Go to whiskeyriverbeef.com today to order. Visit us on Instagram at Whiskey River Life and on Facebook at Whiskey River Beef LLC. Whiskey River Beef is a proud sponsor of the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade.
Here in Dallas, this is the 2024 NRAAM, something like that.
Yep, all the acronyms, all the letters.
All acronyms. I don't know what all that stands for, but it's the NRA. Everybody knows what that is. We are here at the Pioneer Arms Corp booth, and the Lead Quarters is bringing you all the coverage of this year's NRA. And joining me now, this is new to the show, new to you lead heads. We have not had this company on the podcast before, so I'm excited to get you guys introduced to them, and I think we're probably going to be doing more with them in the future. So
awesome.
The company is called SAR Firearms, and we've got Juan Martinez.
Yes, sir.
Did I get that right?
You got it right.
All right, Juan, thanks for joining us, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so you're with SAR, and tell us a little bit about SAR Firearms. You guys make some awesome pistols.
I appreciate it. Yeah, a lot of people are we're really starting to gain traction. People are really starting to start looking us up on social media, YouTube, and all that. But companies from Turkey.
Okay.
So manufactured in Turkey, 100%. I mean, maybe some of the small parts like the sights will get aftermarket sights on there, but 99% of the pistols manufactured there. Imported to Miami.
Yeah.
We got headquarters there in Miami, Florida. And we also have operations in Houston as well.
Okay.
So we're really trying to spread out.
You know, when you say Turkey, a lot of people think of shotguns.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more Turkish companies getting into the pistols, the handguns type. They've probably always been in them. We're starting to see more here in the United States.
Yeah, they're really, like I said, they're really starting to gain traction. People are shooting the pistols. Came out to the U.S. in 2017 with the SAR9. People are still shooting those.
Yeah.
So met a gun dealer at a gun show one time. He didn't know who I was. I said, "Hey, where's your SAR at?" He goes, "Man, I got one right over here." He goes, "It's what I carried." He shows me. He goes, "You know, I haven't cleaned this thing. I've shot 10,000 rounds through it." He goes, "I'm trying to see how many I can get through it till it fails." Throw him a business card. He's like, "Whoa, hey man, I need to get more guns." Blah blah blah. So we start talking about that and everything. But
very cool.
People are testing them, putting them through the ringer, and we're holding up.
So guys, as you're watching this, as you're listening to this, go to their website and you can see what we're talking about. I mean, we're here at NRA. They've got the guns. They got them tied down. We're going to try to get a couple before we get done with the interview to show you guys. But talk about the technology that's in your firearms.
So the pistol has been designed with everything in mind. Main thing that really sticks out is the ergonomics of the grip. I mean, once it comes up, your sights are there. So side panels and the heel are interchangeable. Comes with mediums on there. But in your box, you also have some small grips and some large grips. Doesn't mean you have to put them together. You can mix and match them any way you want. There's like 27 different variations you can put together. Really customize that fit to your hand.
Right. We're talking about striker fire, but I saw you guys had revolvers too. So you've got a variety of
we have like
guns.
60 different models that you can choose from.
Oh,
we got polymers, steel frames, revolvers. Our guns are NATO approved. They've gone through all that testing. So we really do focus on the NATO round, like the 9 mil. We have a couple 45s, and then the revolvers 38, 357.
No 40s?
No 40s.
Well, you being LE, I'm sure that there was a time in your career where you were carrying a 40.
Oh yeah, we were forced to carry 40 cal, and FBI was doing it, so we had to follow that trend.
Right.
Then we transitioned to 9 mil and 45, and got rid of all my
Never looked
40s.
back.
Yeah, I got rid of all my 40s, except for one 40 caliber round that found its way into my mag during a competition.
That wasn't.
But yeah, so 9 mil is a good round, and you can really load a capacity on those. But we still have the 45s in steel frame, double stacked, so you got 15 round mags in those, and they're fun to shoot.
Yeah. So I was noticing, some of your guns, and I don't know if this is just standard how they come, but a lot of them had, you had the cuts and the slides, and different kind of features. You got like the night sights and things like that you offer with them.
Yeah. So SAR is really not scared to be innovative and really think forward. So if you look at the Gen 1, it's kind of the pistol you're kind of used to seeing. Then you go all the way fast forward to Gen 3. Now we got the slide cuts, heavy serrations, optics cut, raised night sights, so that way when you do mount an optic, you can co-witness or use them as backups, rather than having to go spend that other $100 to get sights that are raised and things like that. We've taken care of that for you.
Throw a can on there or something.
Oh yeah. So like our SOCOM, most popular gun because it comes with a threaded barrel. It's that OD green with the brown grips.
Oh, nice.
Got a magwell on it. I mean, it's fit for duty. It has some cuts and serrations, not so aggressive as like the Gen 3 because it's made for duty.
Right.
Special operations in Turkey actually carry that and help design that pistol because they needed something for duty. So what we did was we painted it black, got rid of the threaded barrel, so officers can use those in uniform. Actually, selling those to some departments.
Oh, okay.
So that's my focus. Meet with departments, talk to them about the pistols we have, and really focus on that SOCOM LE version.
Yeah. And
we have a level 3 holster available too. So
now, also, you said 2017 was kind of when you guys hit the scene here in America, but SAR's been around for decades.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. 1880.
1880.
Yeah, started making heavy artillery, heavy machine guns, things like that, and then transitioned to small arms recently. I think pistols 1980 when they started getting into the pistols. They really had their focus on heavy machine guns and artillery, but the need was there. The military was like, "Hey, you're our brand, so let's start making the small arms," and they answered that call.
Yeah, so they got into the pistols and
pistols, rifles. So we got pistols here now. We have the 109T, which is a carbine pistol. Eventually, we're gonna get the rifles here, though.
Okay.
So little sneak peek.
Nice.
ARs, AKs, all the
we
fun
are
stuff.
the show for exclusives, so
there you go.
When you guys hit that, you need to come talk to me.
Well, today we released, or this weekend, I should say, we released SOCOM in a compact version. So that's our new release for today, and we got some other stuff coming out. So, like I said, we stay on top of it.
There you go. So, listeners, make sure you go to our social media because we're going to have some pictures, some videos of the products that Juan is talking about. So make sure you go check out our Instagram and you can see what we're talking about here.
Yeah, ours too. The website sarusa.com, and then on Instagram, SAR Official.
SAR Official on the gram.
And we're keeping it pretty current, getting all the guns out there, showing people shooting them, people talking about them.
Now you guys have a team too, a shooting team.
We do.
I saw.
Yeah, so we have Commander Bellamy out of Houston. He shoots competitively a lot, so he's our team captain. We have Devin, who's our gunsmith. So being a competitive shooter, gunsmithing, he really knows how to tweak it, how to push the limits on it.
Right.
We got a couple of fun guns over there that he raced out, man. They're far out, yeah.
Now you said you were doing some competition too. Right?
Yeah, mine was more focused on the LE, like the 3-gun stuff, and where you got to wear the duty gear and all that stuff. But I was the guy that went home with the coffee cup,
But that's what I like about the firearms competitions is that there's so many different variations of them.
Oh yeah.
You got the 3 guns, you got the IDPA, you got the IPSC, and you got all kinds of different.
Yeah, all those different. And like
more
I said,
and more, you got the AK specific competitions nowadays. They're coming out, and so I like to see that more and more people are getting involved in the diversity of the competitions that are out there. So
people get intimidated when they hear the word competition, competitive shooting. Get out there and it's training. Get out there, get some stress.
It's fun.
Hear that beep. Oh, me and my friends, we're heckling at the line. It's right before the beep, they're like, "Hey, don't screw that up." And then there you go.
Shoot
beep.
outside.
Yeah. You know, that one when that 40 round got snuck in there and I chambered it. You know, my buddies are laughing like, they're like, oh man, I'm like, I thought it was a double P at first. I'm like, worked it out and then finished the stage. And I was like, thanks for all the support, guys. Yeah, I appreciate that. So it's a lot of fun.
It is. So you're still LE.
Yes, I'm a reserve with Galveston Police Department.
Okay.
Yep,
Very good. And how many years have you been doing that?
Ooh, over 20 years. Yeah, I think it's 21 this year.
Okay.
Yeah, so
what's been your focus as far as specialty?
I would say special investigations, the plainclothes stuff, undercover stuff.
Undercover stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, but I in the Marine Corps 4 years. 2 of those years I was a PMI and range coach on a pistol range. So that's where I kind of cut my teeth on marksmanship and all that.
Gotcha.
Then with the PD, became an instructor with them as well. Put on some quarterly training. In the special investigations, we have to train every 3 months.
Oh, absolutely.
So I actually helped develop some of those classes and things like that. So
neat.
A lot of fun. Yeah, concealed carry. That's my bread and butter there.
There you
Drawing
go.
and all that.
Now, do you guys make like compacts and
we do
different sizes?
Yeah, like I said, like 60 different models. We got something for everybody. You know,
Okay.
every job, everything, whatever you need. So our subcompact is probably our smallest one,
Mhm.
and it's nice and it's actually fun to shoot. It has a little weight to it.
Mhm.
I think sometimes when we think compact, we think light, easy to carry, but then we forget we need to qualify with that at the range and keep up with our marksmanship and operations of that pistol. And the smaller ones sometimes aren't fun to shoot because they hurt your hand, hurt your wrist, you know, a little snappy. Ours with that additional weight, they're fun to shoot.
Now, are yours polymer frame?
The subcompact is a polymer frame. It is.
Okay. Do you have non-polymer frame?
The smallest one I think we have on a non-polymer frame is probably the P8 short steel frame. Now that's a lot of fun to shoot. Again, additional weight, and it has the ports
I like
and cuts.
steel frame
Yeah.
guns, so that's why I'm asking if you've got the striker fire steel frame.
Oh yeah, we got striker fire, we got hammer fire, we got single action only, double action, single action.
Yeah, I saw some revolvers over there.
Yeah, the revolvers too.
The revolvers too. How long have they been doing the revolvers?
For a few years now, yeah.
Yeah.
So we got the 6-inch and 4-inch. I hear the 2 inches coming. So
Okay.
you know, start
Little
carrying
pocket
that.
gun.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, when I was undercover, I carried a revolver.
Did you
know,
really?
Yeah. Pocket gun, you know,
Back up?
Yep, back up. You know, I'm just worried about distances about 10 yards and in, you know, and 6 shots is hopefully all I need till the rescue team's coming, you know.
To rescue the other guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, good, man. It's been great talking to you. I appreciate you taking the time to introduce me and our listeners to SAR. I'm looking forward to learning more and having you guys back on. And
yeah,
we'll do a more detailed show in the future.
Yeah, come by the booth, look at the guns, pick out your favorites, and then we'll just talk about those.
Yeah,
you know?
We'll do it. Like I said, guys, go to our Instagram. You'll see the videos. You'll see the pictures that we'll have there with SAR, with Juan, and maybe we'll get some of the shooting team in there too.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, but give your website and social medias again.
Okay, so website sarusa.com. Social media, Instagram is gonna be SAR Official.
Okay.
And then on Facebook, we're starting up a new group where we're actually involved. It's called SAR Firearms. So join that group, and you'll actually be talking to us direct. We got the shooting team on there. You got me on there doing funny stuff. You got the gunsmiths on there answering questions about, hey, does this magwell work? That stuff work? And so, but anything on our website that we sell through our store has been tested and proven, and it works. So we just added a comp on there that's pretty gnarly. Yeah, it's
Very
the
cool.
TCS makes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Very good. All right, guys, go check them out. We got more from the 2024 NRA here at the Pioneer Arms Corps booth from the lead quarters. Out.
Less than 1% of all Americans will ever serve in uniform. Their average age is 23. The average age of an American serving in combat, just over 21. They come from every walk of life and ethnicity to represent the melting pot and diversity of our great republic. In the prime of their life, often just old enough to drink, or voting for the first time for their commander-in-chief, they serve our nation and risk their lives to preserve the freedoms and liberties we hold most sacred. To every veteran, and for every measure of service, devotion, and sacrifice you've given, we offer our sincerest gratitude and thanks.
Okay. You got the Audacity too?
Yep, they're both recording. I'm going to turn my mic off until you need me.
Okay, that's fine. You can leave it on if you want to.
There's just a lot of background noise.
Yeah, it's going to have that anyway.
Yeah.
We might want your input.
Oh, I'll input.
Oh, okay. That's what she said. All right, lead heads. Welcome to the Talking Lead podcast. This is our 2024 NRA edition. And we are kicking it off kind of like we do every year with our good buddy, Andre Dallau. Andre.
Nice to be here. Nice to be here. Good to see you. You're looking great.
Good. And your voice is as amazing as ever.
Yeah, I have a face for radio. I've been told that.
Yeah, you got a great voice. You should do more radio. Why don't you do radio? You're a writer.
Actually, I've done
Andre's
that.
a writer.
I used to share a studio with WKAT back in the day, Miami Beach, with a couple of people that turned out to be famous, but that's okay.
Do the WKRP intro or whatever that radio station was.
Oh, WKRP in Cincinnati?
No, the radio station that you did. I'm sure you had like an intro. You're like, hey.
Hey, we're in WKAT for you people out there. We're glad you're listening and stay tuned.
Was it a rock and roll station?
It was a rock and roll, and then it went to basically talk radio.
Talk radio, okay.
Yeah.
That's when you got out of there, right?
Oh, yeah. But I had a show called Miami Youth Speaks, which was interesting.
Miami Youth
Speaks, yeah.
Would you have kids on or something?
Yeah, we had high school kids that talked about stuff, and it was interesting.
Okay.
We did that every weekend, and Sunday morning death hour. Nobody listened to it anyway.
I used to do a real estate radio show locally. I used to do real estate.
Nice.
And I had a radio show, and I would do it on Sundays also. And
yeah,
it was the dead.
Yeah, I think it's good. It's your mom was like, "Hey, well, you did great." I'm like, "Well, I'm glad at least one person listened."
Yeah, thanks for calling in, Mom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was great. Yeah, the person that I shared the studio with, and turned out that I got to know him pretty well, was Larry King.
Larry King.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he skipped town owing lots of people lots of money. So he left Miami, and there was not a lot of good things to be said about him back in Miami.
I guess that's how he got so rich. He just kept everybody's money.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, he was something.
He passed away, didn't he? Is he?
We can only hope.
Larry King. We can only hope.
Yeah, I still remember him not too fondly, but that's okay. But that was back when the radio was cutthroat.
Yeah, and then he had that TV show. I didn't really listen to Larry King much or watch his show.
He was not my cup of tea, but he was a tough guy. He was ruthless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the NRA. We're at NRA Texas. What they call it? The annual meeting? Is that what it is? Or is this just
annual
convention?
Conference, annual meeting? Yeah. Annual show.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my first time here.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Absolutely.
In Dallas, or not NRA, but Dallas.
This is the first NRA show I've attended.
Really?
Yep. Never been here.
Why is that?
Long story.
Well, let's hear it.
And NRA
people have mixed feelings with the NRA,
and I've really been dealing with that last couple of days, because I've talked to people that like the NRA for the good it's done, but then have questions about some of the other stuff it's done that's not so good.
Yeah.
And the NRA it's in a tough spot, and it's got to go ahead and heal itself.
Yeah.
And if it can heal itself, I think the support will come back.
Now, did what's his face step down? Was it LaPierre?
Yeah. And I think he's gone-ish. I'm not sure exactly about the politics involved, but
we talk about Larry King and keeping people's money.
Oh yeah, it's people are pretty much upset, and they used to support the NRA unconditionally. Now it's like, well,
people are questioning where the money's going. Obviously,
exactly.
When he's flying around in helicopters and he's got these $1 million houses.
Yeah, and that's just unacceptable. And without a full explanation.
Sure.
You have to go ahead and understand people are going to be skeptical. Once they hear that there's corruption, they're going to say, well, prove to me there's not.
Yeah. And
one of the guys I worked with in the past, Tom Selleck, when he left the board, that was pretty much of a bellwether event. And it was like, really? Okay. So that was interesting.
Yeah. So is he completely
disassociated
himself with the NRA?
Yeah. He may still be a member, but he's no longer associated with the board, I think.
This ain't your Charlton Heston NRA, huh?
Yeah.
Anymore.
Yeah, that was a time where everything was really good, but just like anything else,
they need to be held accountable, and people, that's how they do it. It's like they show their disapproval by, okay, I'm not going to support you anymore. You don't get my dollars, you don't get my backing, you don't get my membership.
Yeah,
that's where they make tons of their money, or through obviously the memberships.
Oh yeah, and I hear this. It's down, and this year at the show, it's the people are down. Number of people that are showing up here. and it's down
Well, it is in
appreciably.
Dallas too. And I didn't. Last time I was in Dallas, I guess it was not the last time they had, but the time before that, maybe. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah,
And I don't remember there being this much homeless around.
yeah, yeah,
There's like cities, little tent cities set
yeah.
up everywhere, and
And I noticed that
I don't
just coming
feel.
here, and,
Yeah,
and I looked on the street and said, I don't
my
remember.
head's on the swivel.
Yeah, it's like I was at an intersection. I'm like sitting right next to somebody there on the road that obviously homeless,
Yeah,
and I'm like, wow, this is Dallas.
yeah, and they're obviously got a lot of mental illness with these people too, because they're sitting there screaming and yelling at nobody and
Well,
throwing
that's what people don't
tantrums.
talk about is
The
part of
mental.
my history is I was worked for Jackson Memorial Hospital in the psychiatric
Ah.
unit back when I was in college.
Now you worked there, or
I
you were a
worked there.
patient there,
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Andre?
my wife was my future wife was a nurse there, and she was a nursing student. Then she became a nurse,
Oh,
and
a hot
so
nurse.
we went to talk to the priest about getting married, and the priest said, "Oh, where'd you guys meet?" And we said, "Oh, a mental institution." And we left it there. We didn't explain that we were both working there, and she's a nurse.
Right.
But and the priest went, "Okay."
Just let him draw his own conclusion.
Yeah, and what's scary about it, it blended in with what he was thinking about us real easy. I'm like, that was scary.
They
But
gave him a nice segue, didn't it?
oh yeah, and it was a lot of fun. But but I saw a lot of the people that we had that came through the doors all the time on the streets, and these people were actively psychotic. They were schizophrenic, and what they would do is they'd come to the hospital, get on medication, get basically chemically sedated,
Mm-hmm.
and they would be kind of functional.
Yeah.
And so they leave the hospital on their meds, and then they ended up either being able to cope as a psychotic with their medications, or they'd simply get off their medications and become actively schizophrenic again.
Yeah.
And that's what you see on the streets a lot of. So these people on the streets aren't out of work aerospace workers. They're actively schizophrenic, that if they're hearing voices and those voices are telling them to do bad things and you're around, that could be something
It'd
that
be
you
a
would,
bad day for everybody.
yeah. And
Definitely.
to them, they're just
Well,
responding to
and
their voices.
that kind of leads me to my question. I want to get your opinion on this. With all the mass shootings, the mass murders that happen around our country, I can't think of one that there wasn't some sort of mental illness associated
Yes.
with
Yeah.
the shooter, the
Yes.
murderer. Don't you think that an organization like NRA, or we were talking about, some of the other nonprofits, that they should spend more investment and time into the mental health side of things and helping the mental health industry?
Well, I've looked into some of those shootings, and most of it, those people were identified. They were like, okay, everybody knew that they had problems,
Sure.
and they had a history of mental illness.
And I get that. I
And
get that.
right, but what was happening is nobody in the mental health industry, in the medical industry, was documenting that to the point where these people were unable to purchase firearms. So it's one of those things like, you can go ahead and be diagnosed, you can be on medication, but if you don't follow up using the right paperwork to go ahead and have these people identified, it's all for naught.
Yeah, but don't you think that the firearms industry nonprofit organization, even the manufacturers, the company, individuals should get involved with and concentrate more on that side of things, because that's where the real problem
Oh,
is.
yeah.
It's the mental health
It is.
problem,
and
and the mental health industry, again, if they're not, docking these people and
well, they need to point out the fact that
bringing it to the proper people who need to know about it. I mean, I know that you've got client patient privilege and all that, and and that's why some people are afraid to go to doctors.
oh yeah,
If they've got an issue, because they're getting on this list and they're going to lose their firearms, and people are deathly afraid of that.
Right.
That may just have a bad day.
Yeah.
Might just be depressed one day.
Well, that I've heard cases of a situation where
that's where we need to get more involved in working with that side of the industry, the mental health side of the industry,
you're correct.
On the firearm side. And that's Walk the Talk America is doing that. Mike Sodini, Mike.
Yeah.
Organizations like that, we need to get more behind them and us working together and coming up with ways that we can identify these, I guess, the people and find ways to help them deal with their mental illness, and the fact that they're, a lot of them are scared to lose their firearms, especially military law enforcement men and women. definitely afraid to come if they got any kind of issue.
Oh yeah, yeah,
to where there's going to be some sort of anonymity where they're not going to lose their
yeah.
rights for the firearms. But if they need to, then
Yeah,
they
and
need to.
that's the crux, is trying to find out where that line is.
Yeah, and who determines that?
Yeah, and who determines that? And if it's because of a political agenda or if there's a bias, then you got problems.
Yeah,
and that's the problem, is it's subjective. When
but
something is
I think
subjective,
it would be worth our while in the
yes,
firearms industry to invest more of our time and efforts
yes, and
into that as well.
and that needs to be something that's a very strong commitment, because the idea of saying that the best way to deal with gun problems is take away firearms from everybody,
Yeah,
is ludicrous, and that needs to be pointed out.
That's their the gun grabber side. That's their
Yeah,
solution for everything, is just take all the guns away.
yeah. I was coming in to Dallas 2 nights ago, and I was sitting waiting for my ride share with a stewardess from Southwest, and I mentioned that I was going to the NRA show,
Yeah,
and she's like, "No, I don't like guns." And so there I was on the spot, having to go ahead and do a 15-minute impromptu. Okay, this is what it really is. And she goes, "Oh, there's so many mass shootings." So I had to go there and explain about how the mass shootings really has nothing to do with illegal gun owners.
yeah.
And so, how could some legal gun owner that's not there be held accountable instead of the shooter who actually did it, and giving them
or the firearms manufacturer?
yeah, and it's like ridiculous. It's like those people were the two that weren't on the spot. The criminal that was there doing the shooting, they're the ones that they're making excuses for.
You know what I really liked was in one of these recent ones, and I can't remember which one it was, but the parents were held accountable
Yes,
for their child's
and that
actions.
should scare everybody, because if a kid does something wrong and they say, "Oh, the parents were accountable,"
Yeah,
wow, that makes
because I mean these mental issues are deep rooted, and they have beginnings that start at the home.
yeah, oh yeah.
From the way children are reared these days and brought up.
Oh, whatever their parents do,
And the
that they
parents,
do.
they're like, well, if I've got no accountability, then why do I care? But now they're being held accountable, and
Yeah.
they're seeing that. It's like, oh, well, maybe I should step in when my kid's being a brat. And
Yeah. Well, it's all about what the kids see at home. After Hurricane Andrew, um, a lot of my kids were in school with their classmates, and their teachers were seeing that there was a lot of kids that were traumatized by Hurricane Andrew. And so we went to school one day, and the teacher said, "Why are your kids so calm about this? They don't seem to have any problems with Hurricane Andrew." Were they here? I said, "Yeah, they were here, and we set out the Hurricane Cat 5 at home, and
Yeah.
and it was rough. I mean, we
Sure.
lost a lot." And they said, "Well, how come your kids weren't traumatized?" I said, "Well, because we didn't freak out.
because we're not victims. It is a
Yeah.
storm.
Yeah,
Hurricanes happen. It's a
Yeah.
part of life.
and you're
deal,
right.
you deal with the aftermath, and you move on.
Yeah, and we don't freak out and have the kids freak out. So the parents that freaked out, their kids were freaking out for
And
a
you
long
don't
time.
fuel the fire of them freaking out. You're
Yeah.
like, hey, it's just a hurricane. We're alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Chill out.
It was interesting though.
Yeah. So, I think back to the point of, where the money's being spent and where it's going, I think we could do a lot of good in the industry itself and the image of the industry.
Yes. Yeah.
And getting more involved with the mental health side of things.
Right, and pointing out the fact that that's
And
where
getting
90% of
behind
the problem.
organizations like Walk the Talk America. with
Yes.
Mike Sodini.
Which is a great way of doing it, because those
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
enjoy doing it. They do it well, and they're worth listening to.
Yeah.
And they have a powerful voice. So yeah, that really works out well. And that's what we need to do is don't let the left have all the voice. Give our side some ability to really determine where our culture is going.
Well, not only that, but a platform for the voice to be heard, and that's our problem. Is that it's not that we don't have a voice; it's just we don't have the platform, like
Yep.
the controlled liberal media.
Right.
Yeah, we need more people that are more conservative, more the way, believe in America, and,
Yeah.
and child rearing the way it should be, the way it used to be done. And have a platform, and it just seems like nobody big media moguls are wanting to get behind that. But
Well, 10 years ago, we had the same issue, but nobody saw it. Now we see it. Now we understand that we're playing on uneven field. I mean, and we're actually
It's been that
realizing
way
that.
for decades, though. You know?
But now we see how bad it is, and so one of the first things about solving a problem is seeing the problem. I think now
Well,
we actually see it.
we're being reactive instead of proactive.
Oh, absolutely. And,
Definitely.
but back then, I remember I was screaming back then about how unfair the media was portraying everything. I was like, well, why do we have so much of this and not enough of this? And it was.
But you know what we chalked it up to is like freedom of speech.
Yeah, exactly.
They have the freedom to do it. So, you know, instead of squelching their opinions and their voices, it's like you have your platform, do it. But they're the opposite of that, where they don't want the opinion, the opposite opinion, the opposition to be heard.
Well, when I was
seen, so they squelch it.
Well, absolutely. I mean, when I was a kid, the battle cry was, "I don't agree with you, but I'll fight to the death your ability to say it."
Yeah.
You don't hear that anymore. Now it's like, we don't agree with you, so shut up.
Right.
And if you don't shut up, I'll find a way to shut you up.
Yeah.
Either legally or in some cases actually violently.
Violently, and that seems to be, you know, especially where you're seeing with these protests with the Israel and Hamas. Not even Palestine, it's Hamas, the terrorist organization, and these people are behind it. But you see that again. It's the same thing when the riots, what was the COVID riots and all that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The George Floyd.
The George Floyd riots.
Yeah.
And you know, and all that. It's
because
they were backed by organizations. They were shipping people in for these protests.
And they said,
a lot of these college campuses aren't even people that are attending the schools. You know, it's the George Soros and the Bloomberg buses that are, you know, bringing people in and flying them in. And
if we had a real live media, they would follow the money source back and find exactly who's funding.
I mean, they know
and
where
then
it's coming
publicize
from.
it. Yeah, but they don't talk about it as much as they really should, because that's significant.
Well, let's quit talking about this nonsense. Let's talk about guns and firearms and optics and
we're here with
writing.
Now,
what have you got? You got any writing projects that you're working on?
I've just got done working with a project. I was asked to look at a new-ish. Nothing that really is new when it comes to ballistics.
Yeah.
They said, go out there and we want you to test this 8.6 blackout.
8.6. I've heard of the 8.6 blackout, but I'm not getting
any so
time with it.
Same way with me as I've heard about it, but I thought, well, I knew nothing about it. So I started looking at it and realized it's basically an intermediate range. It's kind of like ballistics, like a 30-30, which is kind of like a rainbow. It's a good round. It leaves the barrel at an incredible spin rate. Because the barrel itself is a 1 and 2 or 1 and 3 inch twist, which makes it a really fast.
Okay.
Oh, which is like 500,000 RPM going out the barrel.
It's coming out hot.
It's coming out hot. But for a short distance, it's very powerful.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, the best way to do this is on a hunt. So I got a hold of a friend of mine. We hopped in his jet. Love saying that. And we flew up to Georgia and we did a night hog hunt with this 8.6 using thermals.
Okay.
And went to the field where we actually went to several fields. And at night,
is that here in Texas?
Yeah, no, in Georgia.
In Georgia. Okay.
Yeah. And it was first few really didn't turn out, and then we went to the one that had two groups of 30 hogs that we saw out there, and they had a couple of big ones. There was one like a 260 pounder, and we said, let's stock that one. So we got out of there and we stocked. I had a tripod.
Okay.
And put out the rifle on a tripod and it was maybe 120 yards.
Okay.
So it was not a particularly a hard shot.
Yeah.
But and put it down with one shot. And this was an 8.6 blackout, but it was a target load, so it wasn't a hunting round. Because at the time there was only about three manufacturers that made the 8.6 ammo, and it's kind of rare. And I contacted them.
It hadn't really exploded yet.
Oh no, and it's one of those rounds that it's a niche market. It's not going to be huge.
It sounds like it, yeah.
But it put it down in a hurry.
Answer me this. So, the 300 blackout, that's kind of the introduction to blackout.
Yeah, exactly.
What makes it a blackout?
I have no idea.
What makes a cartridge or a round a blackout?
I do not know. I hate to say it, but that is a good question. I do not have an answer for it.
Okay. I didn't know if it was the casing, maybe.
Don't know. I don't know how that would be attributed to giving it that nomenclature. That's a good question. I'll have to search that one.
Okay.
That's a good one because I just like to be like, well, they have the 300 blackout and
Yeah.
in 8.6 they said, well, that might be another
300. It's like 30 cal.
Yeah.
Intermediate.
It was an answer.
Cartridge. 300 and in is typically what people are saying the 300 blackout's good for. What's the 8.6? What do we?
8.6. It's pretty much out to like it's good to like 750.
Okay.
650, and in that point, the ballistics drop is so great that it's not really effective beyond that point. Yeah, it starts dropping 40, 50 inches.
Okay.
So the end of the trajectory round, it's kind of poor, but closer
so
in 200, 300.
Longer mid range,
right.
I guess.
So
what do you consider long range? Because I guess maybe that's subjective to people too.
It is long range to me is like 1500. Said that's where you start getting into where
I was gonna say like 1,000 and up.
Yeah, 1,000 and up.
Anything under 1,000, you're looking mid.
Yeah, anything up to like 1,000 is like 308 territory. You can shoot 308 to that all day long.
You remember though when 1,000 was like that's?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, that was like the benchmark. People, I'm shooting 1,000.
Oh yeah, years ago.
1,000 yards.
Years ago, I interviewed Carlos Hathcock.
Did you really?
Yeah. People that saw the video, that's my video. I was associated with that video.
Okay.
Of Carlos Hathcock.
Where can we find that video?
Oh, it's online. We used to have it. Probably. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's I know that it's now I've seen it parts of it in some of the TV programs. They kind of took it. It's really interesting. But he was one of those things that one of those guys that if he was around today, he would be a god.
Oh Lord, yeah.
And he when he passed MS, and it was tough. But he was
on up there though in age, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was
late 70s.
Yeah. But he got hurt when he was in Vietnam. He was on top of an Amtrak, and they got hit by a mine, and got pretty much a lot of burns all over his body.
Yeah.
And so, but he did a lot of really neat stuff over there, and stuff that only now that people looking at going, wow, that's.
So
really
what did
amazing.
You talk to him about?
Oh, we had everything about how his mile long 50 caliber shot that killed that guy.
Yeah.
And he told me later, he said, reason I hit that guy is because just as I pulled the trigger, he started to stand up. He walked right in the path of the bullet. I'm like, okay.
So isn't he known, and I don't know if this is the myth or actually happened, but
yeah, through the scope, he to his dying day, he said that was true. But what he also said to me was that the reality is that means that he was looking at me the same way I was looking at him, and that could have been me. I was just quicker on the trigger.
Yeah,
and he was honest and said, that is just it's just luck. He was as good as I was. I just happened to pull the trigger first.
You're just a little quicker on his recognition. Huh?
So you think about that and realize, wait a minute, that's true.
So CJ has walked in. CJ, are you going to join us? CJ Johnson, Pioneer Arms, host of the lead quarters at the NRA.
Just coming in for a moment to tell you we got Mac McGuinn from Hydra.
Yeah.
If you want to get him in here.
Okay. Let me wrap up with Andre, and then we'll get him in.
And I'll be in a little bit.
Okay.
I'm kind of stuck with.
Don't tease us with a good time, CJ.
I gotta make money.
All right. By the way, that is one of the best guys on the planet right there.
CJ?
CJ. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's a saint.
Oh, and if you want to go ahead and read his book, Carnivore, it's
a good read, man.
Oh, it's a good read and well written. Yeah, Jim Tarr did a good job with that.
I've been wanting to get Jim Tarr on also. I got one of his books. CJ gave it to me. Dog Soldiers? Yeah.
Yeah, Dog Soldiers.
Dog Soldiers.
Yeah, I just read that myself.
Yeah. So I've got it. It's on my to read list. So I want to read that, and then I would love to get him on. So do you know Mr. Tarr also?
Oh, I know him real well, and I don't know. I do not know if he's going to be here or not, but he's definitely.
I would love to meet him if he's here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he's ex-law enforcement, and he's got a good background.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about him.
Yeah, in his book,
Marco
with
talks highly about him.
Oh yeah,
also.
Oh yeah, Marco. Yeah, that's Marco.
Marco
Bolo. Okay.
So writing projects you've got.
Yeah.
Talking about, we got to go see that video with
Yeah, and
Hathcock.
so I'm should be having that the article about that hunt because I want to do that.
The
And
8.6.
yeah, the 8.6, and that should be coming out sometime soon. And then I'm also doing some stuff with Glock, hopefully, for the next annual. But that's still a little bit up in the air because they are in transition. Because Glock is dealing with the fact that they lost the leader of the Glock, and now they're trying to go ahead and move.
I mean, are they really struggling with that? I mean, they've lost him. He's been gone for a while.
Yeah, but it's a matter of what's the vision of the company? Is it going to stay the same? It
Is there a
changes.
family struggle with that going on with the
That would be
wife and the kid?
well. There's been tension,
Yeah,
and how much and where is it going is the question. But he basically left her in charge, and now they're dealing with that.
yeah.
And for good or for bad, that they have new leadership now, and whether they go ahead and thrive or not thrive
Yeah.
is going to be a question.
Have you had any conversations with Josh Dorsey?
Yeah, and he's confident that they're just going to move on and keep and do what they have been doing.
Okay, I saw him. He's here. I
Yeah.
saw him
Oh,
over
yeah.
there. So.
Yeah, they're it's a they sell everything they make. I mean, they don't have a bad product.
No, I mean, and they make it known that everybody knows about them.
Yeah, I mean well, because of Glock that the striker fired pistol is now the pistol in the world.
They sell themselves.
Yeah.
Kind of deal again. And then all the clones that are out there that
Yeah.
are based off the
And everything that's got a
Glock.
striker fire in it now is a clone. I mean, it came from Glock, and it's
Pretty much.
yeah. And so within a short period of time, there's going to be striker fire
And
pistols.
I like Glocks. I got nothing against Glocks,
Yeah,
so I don't want any hate mail. I like them. They're good.
Oh, I got a
It's
ton
my
of them,
carry.
and it's
One of my carries anyway.
yeah. My Glock 43 is my concealed carry. But I did do. You're asking about how much projects, and I was working on something. I had this idea of have you ever heard of a Fitz special? Fitz special.
Fitz, no.
Yeah, it goes back to the 1920s where a guy decided to go ahead and basically at that time take pistols and make them better tactically. So he
Okay.
took full frame revolvers, cut off the barrel to 2 inches, put the
Okay.
sight back on, took the front of the trigger guard off,
Okay.
did a hammer job, a trigger job, and basically made a 2-inch stub nose out of what at the time was only large frame like 45s. And so he essentially started the market on concealed carry pistols.
Huh.
And he was working at Colt at the time, and Colt said, "You're selling those like crazy." He goes, "Yeah, as fast as I can make them." So they made him. They hired him, and he was working for Colt. And then they came out with their Colt Detective Special line, which was a classic 2-inch pistol.
Right. Yeah.
And from that,
Everybody's heard of that.
yeah, and everybody has now copied that as a concealed carry, and that's where concealed carry came from. The question
Interesting.
is,
Fritz.
yeah, Fitz, F-I-T, it's
Fitz.
Fitz special. And so I took
That's the guy's name, I
yeah,
assume.
Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald.
And he had a book he wrote like in the 1920s that I got a copy of and read. It's like, oh my God, it could have been written yesterday. And some of the stuff he mentions there is like still as valid today as it was back then. It was fascinating.
So you're doing like an article on the history of the
yeah,
concealed carry?
That and the 2-inch Fitz special, because it's what a lot of people want to
And
stay
in
away
particular,
from.
you're doing the article. Okay.
And so I got my gunsmith to do a trigger job, and this Taurus pistol had the front of the trigger guard cut off, and it made it into a modern day Fitz special.
Very
And
cool.
it's interesting. Now the question is, why a 2-inch barrel? And so I
Fits in your
went through his
pocket
book.
better, I guess.
Well, reading through his book, he mentions the fact that he did a lot of gunsmith work back in the day, and all the squib loads and all the bullets that did not exit the barrel stopped at 2.5 inches outside the barrel.
Okay.
So he said, "I'll make the barrel 2 inches to where if there's a squib load or there's a problem, it falls out, and you don't clog your barrel, and you can keep on shooting." Which I thought that answers that question.
Isn't that funny where you wonder how things end up the way that they end up, and you think there's like some big, technical,
some
scientific reason, but it's just squib loads.
Yeah, it's squib loads. That's what it is.
Just common sense stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Every man use. I mean, somebody who
yeah.
didn't shoot a lot wouldn't have, thought of that.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, things you learn along the way. That's one thing I do like about being a writer, is that if you do your job right, you do the research, you learn stuff that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And the stuff that you look at is jaw dropping sometimes.
What's one of the most, I guess, something just completely caught you off guard that you learned about, and you're like, oh, no way.
Well, like how the SEALs started the Vietnam War.
Okay.
How the SEALs started the Vietnam War. Okay. Back in the day, they were running what they called nasties, Norwegian PT boats.
Okay.
And they were taken off of Da Nang or that area, went north, and with the South Vietnamese version of the SEALs, which is the LVNNs, which I cannot pronounce the Vietnamese name for them, but they were basically the South Vietnamese SEALs. And they would go into North Vietnam, and they would go ahead and do demolition raids and blow things up. And so on the way back, they'd go out to destroyers sitting offshore, and they would be. Then that's where they would refuel and then come back south. And so those destroyers were the Turner Joy and the Maddox, and they were the ones that were involved in the Gulf of Tonkin incident. And the reason that the North Vietnamese came out and attacked the two destroyers is because that they're the ones that were coordinating with the SEALs in their PT boats. So the reason the Tonkin Gulf happened is because the SEALs were running ashore, blowing things up, and the North Vietnamese came after them.
No shit.
Yeah, and that's open reference material. But you talked about the SEALs in their operations over there.
Very cool.
And so that's just history.
Yeah.
And when I put the pieces together, I said, oh, so the Tonkin Gulf incident was because we were basically putting people ashore doing raids on North Vietnam, and the answer was yes.
Yes.
Kind of interesting.
Well, interesting story. So, Andre, we're going to have you back on later in the week.
All right.
Andre's going to be our man on the street. He's going to go around, see what all's here, and then report back to us, let us know the interesting things that he's seen, and send some people our way if you see something that's just really cool. Now, we were talking about Primary Arms earlier, and they've got some optics, and we're supposed to be getting those guys on, so hopefully we can talk about some of their new reticles and optics that they have on too. But
so, like you've heard before, ought to be back.
Andre will be back, and we will be back with more from the 2024 NRA here at the Pioneer Arms Corp USA booth in Dallas.
Introducing our new belly band holster. Whether you're hitting the gym or running a quick errand, our belly band is one of the most comfortable and safest ways to carry your firearm. The center section allows you to carry most common pistols. Left or right-handed, this has you covered. A hard laminate trigger shield protects the firearm's trigger from unwanted intrusion, giving you ease of mind while carrying every day. 2 elastic sleeves give you the flexibility to carry other everyday items, such as spare mags, flashlight, knife, or pepper spray. 2 zippered pockets run on both sides, offering the option to carry smaller items such as money, cards, or keys. Flush fit on your lower back or waist, easily keeping your setup discreet no matter how you choose to carry. Utilizing 3D spacer mesh, these channels allow for exceptional and efficient airflow, giving you maximum comfort and keeping you cool. Carry whenever you want, how you want, with our new belly band holster. Available now.
Go to missionfirsttactical.com, use the code LEADHEAD for an exclusive listener-only 20% discount.
Ready? Get that chip out of your mouth. Get that chip out of your mouth, man.
Get that corn into my face.
All right, Ray.
3, 2, 1.
Hey there, Leadheads. We are back at the 2024. Where are we?
NRA Expo.
There it is, NRA. I was about to say SHOT Show.
Hey, felt like it.
2024 NRA here in Dallas, Texas, and we are bringing you all the leadjucation right here at the lead quarters at the Pioneer Arms Corp booth USA. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go visit their website, pioneerarmsusa.com. Follow them on the grams at Pioneer Arms Corp, and give me a follow too. Want to? Talking lead. So we're bringing you all the leadjucation, like I said. This is a product that we've got now from longtime leadhead, good friend, been on the show many times, wearing different hats. He's got another hat on, new hat. Ladies and gentlemen, it's none other than Baby Guns himself, Kenny Barlow.
How's it going?
It's going good, buddy.
Good
to
see
see you.
Yeah, it's good to be seen.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you.
Yeah,
I've been missing you.
I'm just a guy. Stop.
Just a
I'm just
guy.
a guy doing things.
I mean, you're bringing the fashion.
I am Kenny Fresh, baby.
Kenny Fresh. That's it. We missed the Kenny Fresh at the events. We're glad to have you back.
Yeah.
The crew getting the band back together.
Exactly, the traveling circus.
So talk about the company that you're with now.
Okay, so I'm now with Regal Products.
Regal Products.
Regal Products. It's the biggest company you've probably never heard of.
Okay.
It's for over 30 years we've been doing firearm safety devices. We are the largest firearm safety device company manufacturer in the world. Trigger locks, cable locks. If you bought a gun and it had a cable lock in it,
yeah,
it's ours. So we're doing that for the entire industry right now, and we've been doing that and doing it well for, like I said, over 30 years. But we want to be expanding into new markets, new opportunities. So right now, what we've done is we partnered with a company called Occupy.
Occupy.
It is a technology company that developed an alert system app and motion sensing technology.
Oh, okay.
And so we're going to be releasing this as SecureMe by Regal. And all it is you get a starter kit. It's got a little beacon in it. It's got a base station. This plugs into the wall, connects to your Wi-Fi. The beacon connects to the base station via Bluetooth.
Okay.
You
and
can put this
the
on
beacon for our non-video audience, what he's holding up there, it's like a little bit bigger than like a nickel. It's like a nickel size diameter, maybe a quarter of an inch thick device, we'll call it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's very, very, very small. We have it in this little white stick-on one, and then there's a larger black one that has a wrist or a wrap band and also a key fob that you can interchange them with.
Okay.
But the idea is this is not tracking. This is not cell phone. This is not GPS. This is not SAT. This is no NSA, no Black Hawk helicopters. This is just early detection, motion sensing.
Okay.
So you affix this to whatever you want that is sensitive, an area, or your gun safe, your medicine cabinet, the room to your gun door, or the door to your gun
something that if it's moved, you want to know that it's been moved or
Absolutely.
being tampered with.
The minute it detects movement, it pings the app on the phone. You're at the office. I'm not home, but why did my gun safe open? Why did the door to my gun room open?
Why did the cookie jar get open?
I mean, that's the one. My wife would probably use it for me. Yeah. Kenny's in the cookie jar again.
Damn it, Kenny.
I don't know if you can tell this temple you see before you built on cookies.
It's magnificence right here. Magnificence. So it's the technology that's in this. Is it something you can talk about? Is it proprietary?
It's proprietary to Occupy insofar as however they've got it to work, but it is just a Bluetooth connection from the beacon to the base station.
Okay.
Wi-Fi from the beacon from the base station out
through your internet.
Yep. So you just plug that into your wall, connect it to your Wi-Fi network, and then anywhere in the world, as long as your house hasn't lost Wi-Fi internet,
right,
you will get a notification.
And the range on this is
about 150 feet, depending on the any obstructions and things like that. But it's got really great range.
Right, and it's using the Bluetooth technology. So I would assume that you would be able to multi-link. So if you needed an area bigger than 150 feet, then you could expand your area by
fully expandable. So there's you can do up to 5 base stations on an account right now, and that's a software limitation. Eventually we can probably do more. 5 base stations on a single account and up to 10 beacons to an account right now. So if you want to expand the area, and it's not like a mesh system, not like a whole home Wi-Fi or anything like that. It's you have a she shed, you have a mother-in-law apartment or something in the back.
Pool house.
Exactly, pool house. You can put one out there.
That's another thing. It'd be great on a pool gate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Any application is any place you want to be notified of any kind of access.
And how does the notification arrive?
Through the Occupy app. So you download the app. It's free right out of the box with the starter kit.
Okay.
It connects right away. All we need is an email address, and it can be a burner email address for all we care. But you just plug in your email address, create an account, and it'll tell you what beacons are connected to what base stations. So if you have 2 or 3, you have a pool house base station, you get an alert from the beacon that it's moved from your gun. You're taking your carry, or you're taking a gun or moving something into the pool house.
Right.
It'll tell you, hey, we've noticed this thing moved in the whatever room.
Yeah.
And then if it'll lose connection, you go, oh, where'd it go? And then it'll automatically reacquire connection on the next base station.
How about this for an example of use? traveling, leaving home.
Mhm.
I want to take this with me.
Yeah.
I want to put it in my hotel room, and I want to make sure the maids aren't jacking with my stuff in
Absolutely.
the hotel room. You could do something like that too.
100%. In your car, it's on the bottom. It can actually be powered by
So it's
micro
portable,
USB.
and you can take it. It doesn't have to be like locked into a certain IP address or anything.
Exactly.
Like that. Okay.
Exactly. And like I was saying, that you can actually power this by micro USB as well. So if your GMC has that Wi-Fi, you can plug this into the cigarette adapter.
Oh, so
and
in your
connect it there
car
too. So you could have it in your car.
Or another great example, if you got a booth set up at a convention,
Absolutely.
Especially a gun, convention. People like to steal guns at these conventions all the time and stuff. So
yeah, we're live demoed right now. We have the base stations plugged into the power and are on the Wi-Fi, and
that's cool.
Working.
So the notification comes in by text, by email,
through the app, through a notification in the app.
On the app. And does it make a noise, a
it
buzz?
It does. Yeah, it uses your standard alert systems on the phones, either iOS or Android.
Okay.
And you'll get the drop down notification, you'll get the vibration, you'll get the ding sound or whatever.
And you say you have up to 5 of these on an account. Creating an account's free?
Mm-hmm. Everything's with the starter kit. Everything is free right out of the gate with the single beacon. There are subscription models for a couple of different things. If you want to, you can have up to 10 beacons. There is a small monthly subscription fee. I think it's $4.99 or something like that a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it is. I believe it's $4.99. I can't remember. It's been a long show.
Sure.
$4.99 a month.
Go to their website.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the website? What we're talking about?
You can go to occupy.com or regalisi.com is our company.
regalisi.com.
Yep.
So as you're listening to this, pull up the website.
Absolutely. Then we also will be offering family notifications as well. So group notifications concept. So
yeah,
out of the box on the kit, you get single beacon, single notification system to one phone or to one account. But $2.99 a month, you can have up to 5 people be notified. So me, my wife, my father-in-law, who's also a gun guy. Hey, if anything moves, my neighbor.
So you have multiple people be notified.
Up to 5 people. So
okay.
And the software,
is that part of the free subscription?
That is no, that's the single notification for free. Up to
single
5 people, yeah. Up
okay.
to 2, and I mean single person notification.
Single person, yeah.
Up to 5 other people for $2.99 a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. So what if I did this? What if I had 5 of these in my house, and I could create different accounts for all 5 of them if I wanted to, right?
I mean, theoretically, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But it's not.
I mean, you have to log in.
It's not going to notify 5 different people.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And you'd have to log in and out of each. I'm assuming that you would have to log in and out of each one to get the notifications. Yeah. Like, you wouldn't get all 5 notifying you through all 5 accounts into the one app. It would be whatever account's logged in. That beacon will notify you.
I got you. I mean, I can think of a lot of applications for this.
Yeah.
As we're talking, I've already come up with the booth thing, which we thought we had a theft this morning. CJ calls me. He's like, "Hey, you might want to get here a little earlier because we're missing some stuff. You might want to see if any of your shit's missing."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm panicking. I'm like, "Oh shit. So I get here. He's like, "No, Brady just moved something. You didn't tell me you moved it."
Yeah.
But if we had these little notifications, if somebody were actually coming after hours it would send a notification. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, the car, I like the car example the best, where you can plug this into your automobile, and then if somebody's tampering with your automobile, then if you're in the store, or if you're at the convention,
yeah, either via the
we're in Dallas. It's a little sketchy down this area of Dallas,
there's
right
some sketch parts,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you can, and like I said, if your car comes with that, if you have that Wi-Fi subscription with your car, or you want to use tethering, for your phone.
Yeah. So price point on this?
Starter kit $99.99. You get the base station, the beacon,
$100.
$100. Yep, and you're ready to roll.
And they go to your website to get these, the Regal.
Right now, they're we're selling only on Amazon.
Okay.
So they can find them by searching Occupier, by searching Regal. There is a link to our Amazon page.
Okay.
On regalisi.com.
Gotcha.
So go there, and then follow the link, and and then that's phase 1. We're getting these SecureMe products out, powered by Occupy, the software.
Okay.
That's phase 1. Phase 2 is, as you showed before. I'm sure you noticed that this cable lock is a little bigger. These are just prototypes, but we're going to be enabling our cable lock and trigger lock with a housing to accept the Occupy beacons as well.
Okay.
So run that like a regular cable lock. It has the beacon inside, and if the entire thing moves, it would get pinged. So you get the added benefit of securing your firearm.
How much movement has to take place to set it off?
I believe it measures like 0.1 G.
Okay. Is
Like,
it
so it's
adjustable or?
Not through the software. We're still playing with where the right idea is for the sensitivity. That is probably a feature we're going to add later, if how
Okay.
sensitive the beacon is. But if you like, that movement right there would have set it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what am I looking at here?
That's our keyed cable lock with the housing on it to fit the Occupy beacon.
Gotcha.
With the SecureMe.
And are these out now?
No, these are just prototypes.
Okay,
I believe we're 4 to 6 weeks out from launching these. Yeah.
Gotcha. So like trigger locks on firearms. So, you know, the trigger locks that go on the firearms?
Yeah. Yeah, it goes right through.
There you go.
So right through. Put it in there. So you've got your trigger lock secured, but then also you got the added SecureMe by Occupy, or I'm sorry, SecureMe by Regal beacon.
Regal. Is that your logo on your hat?
The Regal bill? Yeah, it is.
I like that.
You know me.
Did you design that?
Of course. No, I didn't design I designed the hat. I didn't design the logo.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah,
all right.
As you well know, I'm a fan of my branding. So
oh yeah,
flat bills and
Kenny Fresh. So what else has been going on with you, Kenny?
Not a whole lot, man. I've
Let's
been
get caught up a minute.
Well,
here.
no, everything's good. You know, doing the stuff for Regal. This is going to be great.
Are you still down outside Atlanta?
Outside Atlanta, you know, I claim Atlanta, even though I know people say it's not Atlanta.
Sure.
But yeah, it's great.
It's kind of like me. People ask me, I'm from Nashville, which is Murfreesboro.
Yeah,
just right outside.
Right outside. Yeah.
I'm surprised how many people have heard of Murfreesboro, though.
Like that, they have.
They have.
Yeah.
Because they'll say, well, what part? I say, well, Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
And I'll say it real slow. You know, Murfreesboro.
with that R hidden in there.
Yeah, just so they understand. Understand what's and oh yeah, I've heard of Murfreesboro. I used to live in Chapel Hill, or whatever.
Right.
I was like, oh okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're not that far away. You're only a 4.5 hour drive from me.
Yeah, you and I are like relatively close.
We're basically neighbors
time.
as far as the Southeast is concerned.
Yeah, I mean that in Texas we're neighbors.
Yeah,
4.5 hours we're neighbors.
Exactly.
But yeah, we should visit more.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you're down in that area. Raf's down in that area. Joe's down there.
Oh yeah, get the band back together.
Hell yeah.
For some maybe some Korean barbecue or another one of those tomahawks.
Those tomahawks are amazing. We went to this steakhouse the other night. It's called Liam's.
Okay.
It's here locally, and it was really good.
What'd you have?
I had a ribeye. I just did a ribeye.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get too fancy, but they had like the tomahawks, and they had this thing. It's called the dinosaur rib, and it was this huge big beef rib.
Yep.
That came out. I mean, it had to have been like 3 pounds. It was ginormous.
Yeah, we went to Terry Black's. They do the same thing. These 2-pound, huge brontosaurus bones.
Yeah,
eating like Fred Flintstone.
That's what they were calling. They were calling it the dinosaur bone. But yeah, so if anybody's in downtown Dallas area, Liam's I recommend it. Don't get paid. Didn't get a free dinner at it. Yeah, so
right on.
What about you? What's your next endeavor? You guys got another show that you're doing? You got
right now
range days you're setting up at?
I mean, eventually, yeah. I mean, right now it's just getting the word out on the SecureMe by Regal products, and then immediately behind that, we're going to be launching into what we call the START, a START program that we've coined the term START, Safety Training and Responsibility Tools.
Okay.
Because we've been doing the locks and the safety stuff forever, and we're going to partner with mental health awareness charities like Walk the Talk and the VA and things like that, because we already work with those people and those organizations on securing access to firearms anyway.
Sure.
So and if it fits into one of those three, we're going to start promoting it heavily. We're going to release, first thing we're going to be doing is a start kit for new gun owners. Bag, eyes, ears, cable lock, chamber flag, gun cleaning cloth, all those things that you don't really think about, but you can just grab off a shelf and go, oh, this has everything in it.
Right.
Awesome.
Okay.
Whatever that is going to end up being, $39.99 or whatever, and ready to go, or whatever we ended up making it be.
Little grab bag, yeah.
Just ready to go.
Grab and go.
Exactly. So, and then we're going to spin that off into different projects too, like I said, with mental health awareness and the VA and things like that.
Is Sodini here? Are they?
No, he is not.
Okay.
No.
But nobody from Walk the Talks here?
Nobody from Walk the Talk.
Okay. We were talking about them earlier. I think Andre and I were having a little conversation about how more of these like NRA and gun advocate organizations need to get more of their dollars behind the mental health aspect of
Absolutely. I think
the issues, because we're being blamed for everything as far as the gun. The gun's the fault. The problem. You gun owners are the problem. Well, no, it's these people that have mental health issues and the people who aren't watching and guiding them properly.
Right. And then like the following question is, well, then what are we doing to promote that? And for the longest time, it wasn't a lot.
No, we're just not pointing the finger at us.
Yeah,
it's that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think that there are three avenues in the gun industry that are on the come up, but we're lagging, which is safety. I mean, I know we say safety, but the 4 gun rules is not safety. I mean, like,
it's actually promoting safety.
Yeah, I mean, like secure storage. I mean, lock it up. Like the NSSF was education.
Education is the biggest safety.
Mm-hmm. And the NSSF was ahead of the curve with the Project Child Safe, the own it, secure it, lock it up, or whatever that program is, the pre-cable lock stuff. Introducing technology, and obviously there are things that we want to be conscious about, which is data privacy and things like that. That's another thing with the SecureMe by Regal is going to be, is it is, like I said, completely anonymous.
Yeah, not
There's
trackable.
no data. We're not texting you. It's just communicating with the app through even a burner email, right?
Yeah.
And then mental health those are the 3 that we're again, they're on the come up, which is great. But we want to promote that wherever it's possible. And these products that we're doing are going to be those 3.
Now, is this like your product that you've launched, or do you have any legacy products or anything with
I mean,
Regal?
with Regal, there's the Firearm Safety Devices Corp, the FSDC is what we call it, FSDC, which is our cable locks and trigger locks.
Sure.
There's Caretaker by Regal, which is soft-sided bags and things that we have. All of these things are available if you go to Regal ISI and link to our Amazon page. But
okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, very good. Kenny, it's good catching up with you,
brother.
It's
good to see you, man.
So we got to get together outside of this.
Without
have a few adult beverages.
Yes.
And tomahawk steaks. Don't tease me with a good time.
I already got the itis from it.
There you go. One more time, give the website and the Instagrams.
Okay. No social media just yet. That's in the works, right? Because we've primarily been a B2B brand, right? Regal Products, regalisi.com. And that's where you can find us.
Very good. Leadheads, go check them out. Tell Kenny you're glad he's back, as we are. And there's more coming from the 2024 NRA here from the Pioneer Arms Corp bunker. The lead quarters is out for now.
Hey, Leadheads, just here to talk to you and tell you a little bit about our product. Seal 1 CLP Plus is a bio-based, non-toxic product. It comes in a paste, liquid, aerosol, and pre-saturated bore-specific patches called seal skins. They all do the same thing, just different methods of application. The best way to use our product is to start with a clean firearm. And there's 2 reasons why I say that. First, you start with the Seal 1 CLP Plus by field stripping your firearm and covering the entire firearm inside and out, bore, barrel, everything with the Seal 1 CLP Plus. You'll see how easy it spreads around. You'll want to wait about 15 to 20 minutes. Then you come back and you want to wipe it all off. So you see how easy it is to put on and remove. And the second reason we say to use a clean firearm is you'll find that it's not clean. We're going to pull out more carbon that's been left behind with whatever product you've been using before. Okay, it takes about 3 cleanings, so I like to say a clean shoot, clean shoot, clean shoot, just normal usage before the Seal 1 CLP Plus has removed whatever product that you were using before and has seasoned the firearm. It's kind of like breaking in a cast iron skillet. And after that first cleaning, you will notice a difference. And with each successive cleaning, you will find that it gets easier and easier to clean. Seal 1 CLP Plus is a dry lubricant and is designed to work as such. You will find that malfunctions are virtually eliminated when used properly, because the majority of all malfunctions are caused to carbon buildup. And with the Seal 1 CLP Plus, the carbon does not build up. Seal 1 CLP Plus is safe on all metals, plastics, composites, polymers, rubber, wood, and leather. Seal 1 CLP Plus is a one-and-done formulation. No other products are required or needed to clean and lubricate and protect your firearm. That's why we say Seal 1 and done. Seal One is a proud sponsor of the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade. Use the code LEADHEAD for a 25% off discount.
All right, Leadheads, we are back at the 2024 NRA here in Dallas. This is day 3, wrapping things up, and it's been a wild show, been a crazy show. Even though it's not been as crowded as usual, it has been busy. Good quality crowd. Everybody's really here because they want to be. They support the Second Amendment, support our rights, and we love those people. So thanks for coming out. We're here at the Pioneer Arms Corp bunker, I'm calling it. We're in the war room, the lead quarters, bringing you all the coverage. And joining me now, we have Josh Hensley, who is with O.S.T. And Josh, tell us a little bit about O.S.T. and appreciate you coming in.
Yeah. Thanks for inviting me. So yeah, O.S.T's about 7 years old now. Basically, I was a deputy sheriff down in Southern California and had a little free time, so I was trying to think up some products. And the first one we came out with was kind of a gun cleaner for your AR-15 bolt. We had a piece of steel to do that scraping, so then we added some flint. So you got flint and steel for fire, and then we had a little more room in the tool, so we put a knife sharpener in it too. So that's kind of where our logo comes from. It's got a AR-15, a little fire, and a little knife, and the O, the S, and the T.
Let me hold that.
So that's kind of where it comes from. And that was our first one. Got it patented, started selling, kind of learned, I'm just deputy sheriff, so I didn't, I don't know anything about business. So so we tried moving those, and we got some good feedback. I had some SWAT guys that I knew. I gave them a couple tools, and they gave me some feedback. So we came up with something else.
You actually cleaned your rifle.
Huh? Well, so I was just deputy. I just had just a pistol. They first 5 years in, they don't really they stick you in the jails. Yeah, they don't give you the fun stuff yet. So, but I was very much into guns just on my own accord. So I had building my guns and doing my own thing. So yeah, then a couple more products in. Those newer products got a little more popular. So that's kind of what we're showing at the show is just the newest stuff that we got. So
gotcha.
They've been received pretty well. We've done pretty good. We sold out of a couple things, and
very good.
Very, very happy to be here.
I've heard that from a couple of vendors that they sold out of everything that they had. So
yeah, we've only done a couple shows, so we didn't really know what to expect. And you want to bring the kitchen sink with you because it's your one shot here.
Yeah.
But we kind of told ourselves like that's a little too much, so we held some stuff back, and we shouldn't have. We actually sold out of a couple things. So
well, good deal. Good deal. Yeah, I think a lot of people weren't expecting to sell as much either. I think they're expecting the crowds to be down, but
yeah,
they're the people that are here, people that, like I said, want to be here, and they're
definitely it's our clientele. We just we got done with the Nuttamaker show in Tulsa. I think it's the Nuttamaker.
Nuttamaker,
yeah, okay. in Tulsa, and it's billed as the biggest gun show in the United States. So we went to that one. It's a little more the collector scene. So for us, It just wasn't quite our crowd. Super nice people, met tons of cool people, but the clientele walking through it just wasn't our clique. So, but coming here, I don't know if it's a Texas thing or what, but
I think it's just people knew what it was.
Yeah.
But let's talk about what it is. So talk about your new product here.
So basically, with what we learned from our last ones, we made just a very specific bolt scraping tool. So the AR-15, kind of the only downside of it is it gets a little dirty, and the bolt's kind of a pain in the butt to take apart.
Right.
Get all the things clean, especially carbon. It cakes on real thick. So we came with a tool that matches all of the radiuses that build up a lot of carbon. So this one tool helps you disassemble the bolt.
Okay.
Yeah, this one right here, it's got a little pick on the end, and that'll pull your cotter pin. It'll take apart your extractor assembly. And then basically every surface on that tool is designed to scrape carbon off of some part of the bolt carrier group for the AR.
Okay.
So came out with that one, super popular. Some people question the castle nut wrench. Basically that came about because of shooting with a bunch of guys who build their own guns, but they didn't necessarily stake their castle nuts for the buttstock assembly. So we threw that on there just as like, a light armorer's kind of a tool. It's not enough torque to really break loose one to do a proper armorer's tool, but it helps in a pinch to snug them back up and you go back to shooting.
Yeah.
But we took the feedback again from this one and tried to make, if it's just a pure cleaning tool, what else could we do? And we got it down as small as we could, and that's this one over here. And it's basically, it's like 1.25 inch piece of steel that's cut.
I don't know if you can see that or not. Can you see that?
It will clean every aspect. So
here's a better picture back here.
There you go. So in this little kit that we're selling, we have a scraper tool that will clean every surface on the AR-15 bolt that builds up carbon. We add a rope to pull through run the barrel so you can clean your barrel, and then we add a little stick of reusable grease to relube your gun. So the idea is like the old M16 kits used to fit in the buttstocks.
Yeah.
No one has those buttstocks anymore. So with this tool, you cram all 3 of those in a pistol grip, and it fits BCM and Magpul, I know for sure.
Okay.
But you cram them in there, and it's 1.5 ounces, and you always have the ability to clean your entire bolt, run your barrel, and relube your gun while you're out in the field.
We need to get you introduced to Mission First Tactical.
Yeah.
They make grips too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't know if they have one with a little thing to
I
seal
think they
it.
do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
We'll check with Dave.
I'm kind of a BCM fanboy, but I'm always willing to learn new stuff. But yeah, that's our newest product. Exactly. So that's kind of one of our newer products. And then we just got into targets, just trying to find new products.
Okay. So you got one here?
So we came out with this one, and basically I shoot some competitions, IDPA, USPSA kind of stuff. And when you want to go practice for it, you still got to buy a target that holds you to the same standards, so you can practice like you're gonna perform, right?
Right.
So, but those targets, they cost you about $2 a piece, and you got to usually buy like a 50 pack. And then when you're ready to go shoot, you ran out, so now you got to wait and go find some. Or it's a hassle.
Yeah.
So I came up with, and a lot of guys do it. They make their own stencil to try to get close, but they always do them out of cardboard or metal or like the worst possible materials. Right. So I came up with this one. It's a plastic basically that you can roll up, throw out of your way. I'd throw mine on the floor and step all over it. They're super tough. This is a smaller, smaller dimension one, but basically it's just a thin piece of plastic as a stencil. And the idea is everyone's got trash cardboard at home. So you lay it over some trash and you draw it out. And now it's, sorry, it is a little clingy with static. So, but yeah, you throw it over some trash cardboard at home and you draw it out, or you spray paint on top of it. And now you have a true to scale target to go practice with. But when you make them at home, you're making them for less than a nickel instead of buying them for $2.
Oh, okay.
So the idea is just kind of save you a bunch of money. No one wants to waste money on the target. You want to go buy more guns or go buy more ammo. So it's just kind of a money saving. Like, that's just who I am. I'm kind of frugal. So I don't like wasting money. Huh? You don't want to spend $2 on a target just to go blow it up in a day and throw it in the trash. And it's like, well, I just wasted $2, And everyone's got trash cardboard that they're just throwing away anyway. Yeah. So it's my green initiative.
Stencil it out, yeah.
So that's the idea. So we got
that's smart.
USPSA, IDPA, IPSC. I made one just my own. It's a real narrow kind of a torso, and then we do a hand in a gun, so you can do shoot no shoot kind of stuff with it. And then I just came up with one that's got a little extra material on the side, and the idea is you draw it out twice and they fold into themselves and turn into a 3D silhouette, so you can get a little more shoot and move. You can start adding more to your repertoire of what you're practicing when you shoot. So
very cool. And you've got all this on your website. People go to your website.
Yep, they're all on the website.
What's your website?
It's operatorsurvivaltool.com. And then we are pushing them on Amazon too, just trying to tackle that beast. So
sure.
So yeah, that's primarily where we go. We're really small. We're just out of my garage basically. It's just me. I went from working maximum security jails to watching my kids all day. So I just watch my kids all day and do O.S.T. and try and keep it as small of a company as I can.
Which was easier, doing the prison or doing the kids?
It's amazingly similar because it's kids that never grew up. Those are the ones who are constantly getting in trouble with the law, and it's my kids that are growing up and they're learning that they got to listen to me. Yeah, but it's the same rules. It's you ask them, you tell them, you make them. It's the same rules with each group. So it's kind of funny how the parallels go.
How many children do you have?
I got two. 5 and 4. 7 and 4, turning 7 and 5 real soon.
So. Oh wow, boys?
Girl and then a boy.
Got one each.
One each. So nice. I might be done. I don't know.
Are you still in California?
No, I tunneled out about 7 years ago.
Tunneled out.
Tunneled out. Yeah, you got to avoid the dogs, but no, I was down there. I just got vested, and then I was kind of not. I don't know. I was looking for something new.
Sure.
My wife said, why lateral departments? You're not going to be happy in California. Let's move. And as soon as I knew she was on board, we bounced real quick. And
nice.
So yeah, we're up in North Idaho now. It's the land of milk and honey.
It's beautiful up there. I've been up there a few times. We were talking earlier. Buck Knives is up there, and I've been up there to visit CJ up there, CJ Buck, and our buddy Brian Keeney's in Moscow.
Yep, that was actually our number one place that we were going to move to. And then we looked at it and we're like, we're still city people. We're not ready to go that small of a town yet. So we went up a little bit more north.
Yeah, I think he was like you too. I think they were California people and they were looking to get out, and that they picked that area to go.
We
beautiful, absolutely.
Beautiful. We didn't know a soul in the state. We just evaluated it as plainly as we could. And we said this matches everything that we want to be about, and moved there and didn't know a person in the state. So it was a little rough the
Do you
first
know
year.
him now?
So there's a weird thing. It's like once you break the ice, then then your brother's like, well, I hate California too. How about so then he's up there, and then her siblings, and then
So
it's you feel bad. You feel bad because it's like, I didn't mean to bring all these Californians with me, but my
as long as they don't bring their stupid values.
My argument back too is that when I left, LA County had more people than the state of Idaho.
Really?
So if you leave a little bit of red in a state, it doesn't take much blue to flip it.
Yeah.
So you actually you don't want it, but you want more red to make your state deeper red, so it's harder to flip it. So that's my argument against it is that, yeah, you might get one or two of the not so conservative family members, but the majority of them are moving to a red state because they want to be in a red state. So that's my argument back.
Well, I mean, yeah, you gotta have some people to stay and fight the good fight, but you know, if it's a losing fight,
yep,
you
gotta live to fight another day.
You gotta retreat, regroup, and
and I mean, 10th Amendment, states' rights. It's kind of I disagree. The Second Amendment is the part that the state doesn't get to pick, right? Because that's in the Constitution. Yep. But part of what this country was about was 10th Amendment, states' rights. So you want your abortions wherever. It's like, okay, it's not in the Constitution. You go do that in your state. You want your weed. I never smoke weed, never will. It's just not my thing.
Sure.
But the Fed shouldn't tell me what to do.
Absolutely.
So if you want a state that's got weed, you should be free to go live in a state that's got your weed. So so I don't know.
Just don't do it. Like you said.
That's me personally, but I 100% agree.
You don't have to do it.
Exactly.
Just because it's there.
But then my neighbor, if my neighbor got into it and I'm smelling it, I hate to smell that stuff. So it's like, okay, you pick your state that agrees with what you align with. That's part of what this country's all about.
Maybe you can get him on the edibles.
Yeah, the edibles instead. Yeah, little gummies.
Yeah.
So that's just me.
Well, no, there's nothing wrong with that. And I think if more people thought that way, then
it's kind of a live and let live.
We would have more of a like you said, live and let live society.
Cohesive. It's not an all or nothing on everything. It's So
So before we got into law enforcement, what was your background?
So I waited tables for way too long in my life.
I did the same thing.
Through
college, yeah.
Yep. So I was going to be a pilot. So I was paying my way. I got my
Me too?
No way.
Yes.
Awesome. So I got my private, I got my instrument, and I was building time to get my commercial. And I ran out of money waiting tables because you just can't afford that. So I'm driving down the highway and sheriff's department hiring on a big billboard. I'm like, well, I could do push-ups for 6 months. So sure enough, signed up, did my push-ups, got in.
That's fun.
And then started the family, a couple years in. It was like, oh man, now I can't go. So I'm just now trying to get back into flying. And now that I live in Idaho, they got all those grass strips everywhere throughout the state.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I need me a bush plane.
Did you go to school for that, or were you just doing it on your own time?
I went to Mount Sac. I went to Mount San Antonio College. They got a little flight thing there, and I flew with them. And
very nice.
Yeah.
That's what I went to school for too. Yeah, I started off pro pilot.
Yep.
And I was like, getting into it like my second semester in, it's expensive.
It is.
And that's not part of your tuition. That's all extra on top of, those flight hours and everything.
Yep.
And it just got way too expensive. And I was like, can't afford to go any further. So I switched to admin and did a minor in psychology. And yeah.
I did the associates in being a pilot and then the associates in being an air traffic controller because it was like one more semester to get 2 AAs.
Right.
And then as soon as I did that, I was like, wait, now I'm going to go do the cop thing where you just need a GED. I was like, all right, I dropped school and just did push-ups for 6 months. So that's why I tease my wife. She's a nurse, right? So she had to go do 2 years of college to get the whole nursing thing. But right out of the gate, we were both making about the same down there. So I'm like, look at you. Did 2 years of school and I did push-ups for 6 months. And now I'm making just as much as you. So I always tease her, but she's way smarter.
And now you're entrepreneurs. You got your own company doing your own thing.
Yep.
You're your own boss.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the American dream right there, man.
It really is. And learn so much. Like it's not even about like, the end goal. It's that journey thing. It's how much you learn along the way. Cause like I had some good years and I had some 0 years, but I wouldn't trade the 0 years for anything. Cause they taught me how to live lean.
Yeah.
So as soon as I had another good year, we got into investing. We got into like looking long haul. How do we make things work?
To stretch that dollar
just in case we got another 0 year coming. And so like I'm huge about.
So how many years have you been doing this? Where'd you start?
We did this. I was down there maybe a year or two before we left. So probably 8, maybe even 9 years doing this because I've been up there for 6 or 7. So somewhere around there.
Okay. And are you guys on the social medias?
I do Instagram.
Okay.
I tried to do the dual post to Facebook, but I was just told that my Facebook page looks like trash. Like I haven't done it in 15 years or something. So,
why bother?
Since 2015, sorry.
Yeah.
But
I was the same way. It's like they were doing the dual. You could just post to Instagram and it'd go
to
Facebook. So I just,
So my wife does
quit
Facebook.
paying attention to Facebook.
And I don't care about Facebook because like I don't like my kids' faces have never been outside of Facebook, Instagram, never been on anything. Like I don't care about social media. All my people know to just call me or send me an email and I'll get back to you in a second. But
it's kind of one of those necessary evil kind of.
Exactly. The only reason I do it is for the business.
Absolutely hate it.
Me too.
Yeah. But so what is it on Instagram?
So we shoot. I believe it's just I got my wife's phone because my phone does the card reader at the booth.
Do you have a card like a business card?
Yeah, it's not on there though. It's just operatorsurvivaltool.com is the website.
And then probably a link on there too.
At Gmail is the email, but then it's either O.S.T or it's the full Operator Survival Tool for Instagram.
Okay. And this tool is really cool, guys. So go check it out. This is the AR bolt carrier cleaner right here.
Yep, we got a
one little tool does it all. He's got the preset holes and everything that fit all the fixtures of that, so you can get all the carbon off your bolt carrier group. So,
yep. Anything that gets dirty, that thing can disassemble and clean it real quick.
Very good. Josh, it's been a pleasure having you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This has been cool.
Thanks for educating our audience on is it Operator Survival Tool?
Yeah, so we needed a 3-letter name. We did 3 functions: clean your gun, start a fire, and sharpen your knife. And we were looking for like how do we make it work? And my brother goes, "Well, everyone's ruining the word operator, so you be part of that." I'm like, okay, fine. So Operator Survival Tool. So I know it's one of those like organic.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean anything.
But then
anymore.
the O.S.T.
And then O.S.T kind of rolled off the tongue. We're like, all right, we might be contributing to ruining the word operator, but it's already, everyone's using it for everything. So
yeah.
Operator Survival Tool is basically what we came up with.
That's a cool logo. And you've got like you said, you got the AR in there. Yep. You've got the
AR, fire, and
fire. That's like
knife.
Firebird Targets logo there. And then a knife. Very cool.
Yep.
Nice. Any parting words for the lead heads?
No, just nice to meet you guys. We're super small. Like I said, I keep my head down and just watch my kids all day and kind of do O.S.T as, trying to push an internet business, not make a big business out of it. And so I don't get to meet a lot of people. So it's like nice to meet you guys and,
Well, let's blow them up, leadheads. Go visit their website, put the orders in. This stuff's inexpensive too. We didn't even talk about price, but
yeah, so that's what I'm all about because I'm very price conscientious, living off that zero, like I said. So yeah, we price everything to try and be very competitive. So $20 is for our first cleaner. Basically, it got created because I had I didn't even know they were competitors, but I had 2 competitors I was going back and forth between. I said, heck with that, I'm going to make my own. And it's priced under what they sell for. So it does what a lot of tools combined do for $20.
Awesome.
The kit over here does all of that plus the rope plus the lube, and we sell it for $30. I think the next closest kit's around like $50 or $60 to try and be an infield kit. And then these targets here, I think are 24 on the website. We're doing for 20 while we're here.
Yeah.
And like I said, even at 25.
And you've got other stencils too. If you want to mark your mags, he's got like 300 blackout, 223.
Yeah, once we figured out the material and the laser, we said, okay, what else can we do? So we did, ammo can stencils, mag stencils to just label so you're not sticking a 300 blackout in your 223 and having a bad day or, stuff like that. So, but the idea was that if you bought the stencil from me, it comes with a marker. And by the time you run out of ink in the marker, I've already saved you $75 because you didn't have to go buy a bunch of $2 targets to go ruin. So that's kind of what we're all about is very price conscious, save people money. You don't want to spend money on targets.
I'm a miser, so I get it. I like to save every penny I can.
Yep, exactly.
So leadheads, go check them out. O.S.T. operatorsurvivaltool.com, and then on the grams.
Yeah, say hi.
Find them.
Yeah, it's either OST
let them know you're a lead head
or Operator Survival Tool. Yeah, say hi and follow everybody back or something and get you guys back. So
there you go. We'll be back with more from the 2024 NRA here from the Pioneer Arms Corp bunker and the lead quarters.
All right, there you go, lead heads. Great second round of interviews from the NRA there in Dallas, Texas. And believe it or not, we have more interviews coming. We've got Charlie Melton. We've not had Charlie on in a while, so we got to sit down and talk with Charlie, get caught up with him, and several more. So without further ado, I know you guys have got your coins. You're like, all right, tell us who won. What are we looking for? Ton, You want to tell them the special marking for this week's episode.
On the coin, there is a little Ton Jones logo at the top of the coin. That's the one you're looking for. If you have this coin,
and there's only one.
There's only one.
So
if you have that coin, you win this week's prize package.
There you go. And what you do is you email me, talkingled@gmail.com, and say, hey, I have the winning coin. And send me a picture of you with the coin.
Yep.
And you can't fake these. Can't fake. There's only one. And Ton showed you, and it's got to be that coin with Ton's logo on there. And you're going to win the Firebird Target package, you're going to win the Seal 1 package, and you're going to win the swag pack from Kel-Tec Weapons. So email me, talkingled@gmail.com, and I'm going to have a picture to prove. I need the proof of you with the coin. Not just the coin, you with the coin. Got to have that.
Proof of life.
Proof of life. There you go.
And you got to be at least, to get the Firebird Targets, you got to be 18 or over, and unfortunately not in California and not in the city of New York.
There you go. So if you're not 18 or older, you might want to hand that off to your Meemaw and have her take a picture with it. And have her send that in. But yes, thanks to everybody for listening, tuning in, playing along with our silly little mystery coin game. We've got two more. Two more. So there's two more floating out there, and the prize packages are going to get even bigger. I know with Pioneer Arms, there's a package with Pioneer Arms that's coming up. That's going to be pretty sweet. I'm not going to tell you what it is. We'll announce the packages each episode on what's going to be in that package too. So stay tuned. Lots more coming up from Talking Lead, the Leadhead Brigade, our sponsors, Seal 1, Kel-Tec, Firebird Targets, Mission First Tactical. Use these codes. I've been flashing codes throughout the show here that you guys can use. Kel-Tec, you use the code Leadhead. And did Matt ever up that? Is it still 15? You guys going to up that up for our Leadheads any day?
Matthew, Marty soliciting.
Seal 1, I mean, you get the biggest industry discount ever from Seal 1. You get 25% off. You guys don't offer a bigger discount anywhere else to anyone, except for the free packages that we give away. So seal1.com, use the code Leadhead, 25% off. Mission First Tactical, Leadhead, get 20% off there. Firebird Targets, it's Talking Lead 15, and you get 15% off.
Or it's Talking Lead 15 or TL15 now also.
Okay. Did we get both?
Yes.
Okay. I like keeping it simple. So TL15, use that code, Firebird Targets, you get 15% off there. And am I forgetting anyone? Whiskey River Beef. We have a beef sponsor, ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't know. And this is the time of the season where you want to get those steaks, you want to get those burgers, you want to get those tri-tips, those ribs, doing the grilling, the cookouts. You can get a whole cow, half cow, quarter cow, or you can just get, specifically what it is that you need or you want. You go to whiskeyriverbeef.com, Talking Lead 10, you get 10% off, and it's shipped straight to your door, freeze-dried, fresh, ready to go. And Ton can attest to it.
Oh, God, that stuff's, man. I got to call him.
Favorite. You need to call him.
Yep.
Call him up. So there you go, Leadheads. That does it for this episode of the Talking Lead podcast. Make sure you go and subscribe, follow, like, share, do all the things, because that's the only way we're able to get through this shadow banning that these Instagrams and Facebooks is through you guys, because they're not going to let us through. So if it's been a while since you've seen one of our posts on Instagram, you're like, hey, what happened to the Talking Lead? Well, that's because they probably went in and tricked your settings and turned off notifications, because they do that. I've had several listeners that said they went in and their settings had been messed with, and they had to re-switch it back on. So go make sure that you are accepting the Instagram from all of us: Kel-Tec, Seal One, Firebird. Andre, you got a page?
Sadly, no, but I'm working on it.
Okay, and you got some articles coming up where they can go and read some of your articles? What publications?
Most of the stuff that ever since that Athlon was taken over by Bleecker Street Productions, I'm still waiting to get that transition accomplished. So all my editors went over to Bleecker Street. So
okay.
It's a bit of a transition period right now.
Well, I'd be happy to post them on our website, on Talking Lead's website. So
yeah, I'm also doing a lot of work with Meprolite. They have some great sites, and they do have good stuff.
Okay, I know Kel-Tec's got a great blog post too. So.
Yeah, I love Kel-Tec.
They might
too.
They might be open.
They're fun people.
Oh yeah, it's always a good time when you go to Kel-Tec.
Oh yeah, it is. It's great. I go fishing in the pond. No, I'm just kidding.
They got gators just like right there at the factory.
And alligator snappers.
Yeah. So, Leadheads, until the next episode, as always, keep your loved ones close
and your firearms closer.